Yo. Both of us can't be
Yeah, so take your camera off.
all right, you gotta wait though.
Thank you.
B, boom, what up, bro? Miss Queen Aries. Oh, happy birthday, beautiful. Yes. It's the birthday girl, the anniversary girl, the gal getting all done up. Jason
Thank
Lee,
you.
what's going on, family? That joint was funny early. That was funny early, wasn't it, bro? My man, he was on a skateboard. Somebody opened up the door to the car and knocked him right to the wall. He slid right down, sat next to somebody. That shit was hilarious. Yes, B, yeah, she's 22 today.
Period.
22. Yeah, Jay, that joke hilarious. She got, now, y'all know I'll be having my camera off, but, you know what I mean? Cherie getting all done up, you know what I mean? She in the Magic Palace. Hello, this is a prepaid call from. Getting all done up. So that's how we carrying it. I'm gonna get my camera on in a minute. Today, what are we talking about? Patience. Patience. They say it's a virtue. Patience. V. Dot 903 Life. What's happening? Oh, Jackie, what's going on? Hey, you see your daughter-in-law here on her anniversary? Well, I tell you, she is consistent. I know, Jay. I'm the one that keeps the camera off, not her. Now she doing what I do. I don't know why you don't want to show you what you doing. You good?
No, I'm not good.
Oh my God, you good? I just came from over there.
I'll turn my camera on in a minute. Hey, y'all.
Oh wait, you scared me. All right, we about to get him rocking. Mm-mm.
Hey, Ken.
We rocking. Patience. That's what we talking
I got some.
about. All right, patience. That's our topic for today. If you just tuning in, um, listen, Ginger Bomb, she does her thing on the makeup. Jen, you killed it. You really got, you know what I mean, Cherie looking like, like she got a whole filter on. Okay? She already looked good. As is. Natural and all that. Natural light, all that. But you got looking like she got one of the filters on. So you did your thing. Toot, what up, Toot? My homegirl, she got the news, Toot. She got the news. At some point, um, she could let the news be known. You know what I'm saying? One of her gifts she got for her anniversary, the 40th. All right. So today, our topic that's pinned is patience. You know what I mean? But before we get into that, we just want to kind of set the room up. So we want to start off by just giving our intro for anybody that's not been here before. My name is Jamal. My wife, that's probably in the square above me, is Cherie, and we've been married for 12 years. We had like some really tough times through our marriage, but around the time of COVID, we got on track. You know what I mean? So it's still been rocky. We still, a work in progress, but we do things to try to work on, our relationship and just try to get better. And so this platform right here is for anybody that's in a relationship, that's dating, or looking to be in a relationship or marriage. You know what I mean? Just for us to have a space where we can kind of conversate about different topics that that pertain to that. And this topic today happens to be patience. Just a couple things real quick. If you want to comment, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to comment right there. Just typing it up. Also, if you want to comment, you can also hit the circle that has a question mark in it. You can leave a comment that we can all comment on. You can leave a question, excuse me, that we can all comment on. And last but not least, if you want to hop on, you can also send a request and hop on. You know what I mean? It always get juicy when we get different dynamics and we up in the square. It's looking like the Brady Bunch and we just, you know what I mean, having our discussions and all that good stuff. So that's always a good joint. Delgado, what's up, family? Without further ado, lastly too, you can also hit that airplane right there and share it to anybody that you think can benefit from it. You might have just had a conversation with a friend and they was telling you about how they just run out of patience. Like they in a situation where they just fed up and they ready to make a move, and you might be like, you know what, you might need to hear a conversation on patience because you know what I mean, you got a good situation. Maybe you just need to just relax. So share this live with them so they can be, put on. Sometimes we just need to kind of like, chop it up amongst each other. I got the juice. What's up, my young boy? You know what I mean? That doc came out yet? So without further ado, today's discussion is on is on patience. So Cherie, you can start it off and just tell us your perspective on patience, and you know what I mean, some things that like you might have learned over the years in terms of how to be patient with your mate.
I think it's very important to have patience when you're in a relationship or when you marry, because it just make things easier and make people more understanding when you have patience. Like you can't have patience and then the person you with not don't have patience. Y'all both have to have patience together because y'all both are going to be in certain situations where it consists of patience. Like you need the person to have patience and understanding because it just it just makes life easier sometimes.
So what would you say? What would you say? Like, because we had some challenging times, you know what I'm saying, throughout our relationship, throughout our 12 years, and you got to have some type of patience. What do you think, like, gives you the patience to even go on? Because we both been, like, really tested, you know what I'm saying, in this whole situation. And, so what would you say, like, even makes you want to stay in a relationship knowing, like, some of the shit that we've been through?
Mm.
Like, what gave you the patience? What made you even want to to stay and keep fighting through.
I mean, when you care about somebody you love, when you care and love somebody a lot, that helps. Like you, that's that benefit of the doubt. Like that, you love them, you care for them. So it's like, that's where the patience come in. It's like, all right, I know he didn't mean it, or I know she didn't mean it. I'm gonna give him another chance. Now, how long? I don't know.
That's patience, though. Patience is the how long. That's that part. Patience is the how long. Now, here's the next question. Like with that, and you could pose all these questions to me, but the next question is, how do you know what's the difference between like patience and, I don't want to say stupidity, but like sometimes it can be a point where it's like you feel like, yo, I'm being patient, but ain't shit gonna change. Like how does a person know what the difference is between patience and what I'm saying, just being taken for granted? You know what I mean?
I
Taima,
mean,
what's going
well,
on,
if you
family?
feeling like you being taken for granted at that point, that's where the conversation need to come in. That uncomfortable conversation that a lot of people don't want to have, where you notice somebody is constantly doing the same things over and over again. And if you care about them and you have all intentions on continuing your life with them, then now you got to have a conversation with them. Like, listen, I feel like this XYZ, and then hopefully, thank you, and then hopefully the person takes what you say serious and try to improve or work on whatever the person is feeling like they're being taken advantage of.
All right. Yeah, because the reason why I asked is because I just really feel like I don't even know if it's a gender thing or not. We're not going to get into that, but I just feel like in certain ways, like you just have just like unrelenting spirit of like it's like you really it's like you really want to be, you know what I'm saying, you like it's like you really want us to be together, like you really want, you know, this marriage to last. And like for me, it's just interesting because I don't know what, you know, neither one of my parents were ever married, you know what I mean, even though they had a good relationship, but they was never married. um my dad was married, you know what I mean, to my stepmom or whatever outside of my mom, and they were married for about 10 years. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, 10, like I'm like, you know, 10 years is a nice amount of time to be with somebody, but it's hard to really fathom what forever is. So when shit start getting, you know, dark, you know, somebody like me is more like is kind of conditioned to more so be like, all right, well, hey, we, you know what I mean, it is what it is, you know, we tried it or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's just not working, you know what I mean? Maybe we should just move on, you know? And it's like if we would have had that attitude, if we would have really rocked out with that attitude, if it wasn't for either one of us at certain points really fighting for us to stay together, then it would have just been like that. You know what I mean? We could have, this could have, you know, really been over on quite a few, you know what I'm saying, situations. So I appreciate it. I'm like, damn, like where do you get that spirit to where it's like, you like, fuck it, we just gonna fight. Like we really gonna fight for this joint. Cause I
I
see
mean,
it
again,
sometimes.
it got to do with your feelings and love for the person, though. I feel like I'm the type of person that loves hard. So because I love so hard, I don't give up. Like I'm
Mm.
not a quitter, and I just feel like, you know, if you're not a quitter and you know, you genuinely care about somebody, you're gonna stick it out because it's not peaches and cream, it's not white picket fence every single day, but you know, at the same time, when you care about somebody, you care about somebody. And that be the issue with a lot of people. They be in denial about how they really feel. You know, we be like, F her, F him, you know, I'm moving on. But deep down inside, that's not really how you feel. You really want to be with that person. So it's like you're going to stick it out as long as you can, as long as you want to. So, I mean, I feel like that's me. When your time is up, it's up. Like, it's up, it's done. When I'm done, oh, it's done. I've just always been that way. Like I never just been a person that is like not making it okay. Like you know, people cheating on you and things like that. It's not okay, but at the same time, I had feelings for him, so I'm not going to act like I didn't. So I'm not just going to be at the drop of a hat like, oh, F that nigga. I would have been lying because I probably would be right on his phone or calling him trying to figure out where he at. So I just never been that way.
Mm.
You know, I just always loved hard, always. So it's like for me, you know, I feel like you mess up on me, that's your loss, because you'll never find nobody like me. Like you'll never find nobody as loyal and committed and as the type of person that I am. I've always been that way.
Do
So
you
that's
think
why I love so hard with my marriage. Like I just don't
mm,
give up so easy. I just, you know, I feel like we go through stuff all the time. Everybody go through stuff, but you know, it's a growing stage and phase too. So I just feel like, you know, we just gotta stick it out
so
together.
if we talking about patience, and yeah, I respect that though. I respect it. It's something that's like real thorough about that to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, like you really, you know what I mean, you really tough. Like that's like literally like you're tough. Like you're tough spirited, and you know, like strong willed. You know what I'm saying? So like that that right there for me, you know what I mean. I appreciate that because I do feel that, you know what I mean, I appreciate somebody that's a rider, you know what I mean, that is really rocking out, you know what I'm saying, for, you know what I mean, for me and for whatever our goals are. I feel like that's important, you know what I mean, to have somebody that's truly rocking out. And so when we do go through shit, you know what I mean, and you know, and I do see how tough you are, how, you know, how much you in it for the fight, you know what I mean, I definitely gain a higher level of respect, you know, in certain regards because, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we meet people all the time. We really don't know what people rock with us for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is it our money? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it money? Is it you know, is it, you know, just something that's superficial? You know what I'm saying? Or do they really rock with you for the core when shit gets really dark, when shit gets really, you know what I'm saying, like when it goes bad. So that's, to me, you know what I'm saying, that's the definition of, you know what I mean, a motherfucker that I really respect and I can rock for is how do you act. These are two. This are two ways. Like you could judge. You know what I'm saying, a person. I mean, Ola. Um, Two ways you can judge a person is how they act when they got everything, and how they act when they have nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's the truest joke. Because people they gonna show you their ass. You know what I'm saying? On either spectrum. If they up and you down, they gonna show you how they really feel about you. You know what I'm saying? When they don't need you. If a motherfucker don't need you, you know what I'm saying? And they still, you know, have a connection and a respect and a love and a genuineness towards you, then that's real. You know what I mean? Or if, you know what I mean, somebody, you know, shit goes horribly wrong, and, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's like, man, you know what I mean, I'm helping this person out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be there to help and support this person, or rock out with them. Like, that really, that means something to me. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you for that. And, you know, that's ultimately for anybody that chimed in. We talking about patience. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a community, this is my question to y'all. As a community, are we patient enough? Are we patient enough with each other, or with our children, with our parents, with our, you know what I mean, like with ourselves? Are we patient enough with ourselves? What you mean by patient with yourself? You know what I mean? Are you allowing yourself time to learn something? You know what I'm saying? Okay, you might have tried something new and you're not good at it. Are you patient enough with yourself to say, you know what? You know what I mean? It's going to take some time. Let's just say you working out. You know what I mean? Are you patient enough to say, damn, man, I get no fucking results. I've been trying to do this. I've been trying to do that. You know what I mean? Let me just stick in there. Are you patient enough with yourself? Like, is our community really patient? You know what I'm saying? Because I was driving earlier, and it was somebody that was outside. A random person, I didn't even know her, but she sounds like everybody that I do know. She was like, and I hear none of the conversation, none of that. But the first one of the things I heard that she said, and it stuck to me. She was like, yeah, woo, blah, 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 because I ain't got time for that. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing we say. Like, we ain't got time for this. We ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did it come to a point where we don't have time for stuff? You know what I mean? And I think, like, maybe in our communities we really don't have patience. Today I'm beeping her, man. You know what I mean? And my man pulled up a little bit. You know what I mean? You trying to wait. my man pulled up a little bit, and I'm like, homie, I was trying to tell you to move up something. He was like, bro, I couldn't move up nothing. And we just like stared at each other. You know what I'm saying? But like, we just, you know what I mean, just kept it moving. It was like a respectful joint. Like, it ain't really go nowhere, but it was Chinese. But it's like, damn, nowadays, like, you know, shit like that can have something pop off. You know what I'm saying? Just that quick. You know what I mean? A little simple, hey, you give us a little flash. Thank you, Chad. Show off the B-Day makeup. Thank you. Yes. Jomo, what up? You know what I mean? We don't have time because we have to keep up with inflation and everything else. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, we ain't got time for shit. What do you got time for? Because the nigga tell you in a heartbeat, I ain't got time. You know what I mean? Listen, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for this. That's the first thing everybody say. But it's like, first of all, you do got time. You know what I mean? You at the bus stop. You're waiting. You know what I mean? You have time, but it's like the first thing that we say is we don't have time. And I think that reflects in our relationships, you know what I'm saying, with ourselves. It reflects in our relationships, you know what I'm saying, with our children. We just don't make time, even with our kids. Like, and I'm victim of it too. Like, with that homework and everything, like, nigga, wasn't you paying attention in school? Like, you know what I'm saying? When there's a whole lot of, but I don't get this, and I gotta check myself sometimes and be like, yo, like, these is your kids. Like, I mean, you're responsible for their education at the end of the day. Like, that's your responsibility, not no teacher, not this person, not that person. So you gotta make time. You have to make time. You gotta be patient. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we talking about today. So I'm gonna go in lightweight on, you know what I mean, just on patience in terms of within a relationship. You know what I mean? So so for me, you know, I definitely Samina, you still look the same. You know, teachers always look the same. You know how that go. Um, so so when we talking about like patience, even in a relationship. So for me, you know, I people say I'm patient, you know what I mean, but I don't think I am.
You
But
are not.
people seem to think I'm patient.
Jamal is
But
not patient, yo.
I don't think I am.
He don't
But
have
people
no
give me
patience at
no
all.
people give me that accolade all the time. They be like I
He
mean,
is
because
not
okay,
patient.
even with cutting hair, like say for like the kids or something like that, it might
Hey,
be certain
Gemma.
kids, you know what I mean, and you know people say I'm patient, but I don't think I am. But I was,
He
you
don't
know,
got no patience with me, yo, at all.
we talking about 12 years later. Stop. Anyway,
Let's
um,
see. See what
we
I'm
talk, we
saying?
talk,
Now you want to
we
make an
talk,
excuse about it.
we
He
talking
don't
12
got
years
no
later.
patience.
Stop it.
Let
Stop
me
it.
tell y'all what he did the other day, right, y'all? So Jamal had to come pick me up from work, right? So he coming. So it was blocked off in the city. You know how that goes
You
sometimes.
petty.
And
You petty to get this example.
so I'm trying to help him with directions to get to the city, but
Okay,
I
we
don't
gonna go
really
there.
know exactly where he's at. So I'm asking him where he's at. So he's telling me, but he's not telling me. He like, I'm on 16th in Washington. Okay, like what's like? I need a little side block, something, you know. So he ain't want to tell me. So he gets to the point where he's gonna
16th
say,
is.
"Yo, I'm about to put you in the Uber." That's what he gonna tell. No patience. But if it was me, I will go to the moon, to the South Pole for my husband. I don't care how long it take me to get to him. I'm gonna get to him. I'm not
All
gonna be
right,
like,
so
I'm about to put you in the Uber, or
okay.
you gotta figure out something else. No,
All right,
I'm gonna just take my time, have patience, and figure out a way to get to him.
all right,
I
so
mean, he
cool.
was
So
upset.
I listen, that's her perspective of it. You know what I mean? Boom.
See,
But let's really go there. First of all, it was New Year's Day. Know what I mean, you need more info. Exactly, the 16th of Washington. That's an intersection. I'm 16th of Washington. But anyway, we'll get there, Jomo. But Jomo, what she's not
listen,
explaining.
Jomo. He went from I'm on 16th on Washington to I'm on 19th. You just told me you was on
Listen,
16th.
listen. So Jomo, hear me out.
I gave
Listen.
him a way to go, Jomo, and he did what he wanted to do. Instead of listening to me, he went a whole nother way, made himself more frustrated, and said, "You know what? I'm about to go home. I'm about to
So
go
listen.
home."
So let me explain this real quick. First of all, the impatience, it wasn't even an impatience thing. It was a thing where
It was.
it's not making sense. So here's the thing. It's New Year's Day. They got the mummers. The mummers take up Broad Street. So what happens is whatever side of Broad Street you on, you stuck on that side. You know what I mean? From wherever they started, probably what fucking yeah, damn near the whole Broad Street. Anyway, but we at the bottom of it. We in South Philly now. You know what I mean? So I can't get over to her side. And as I'm trying to get over to her side, it's keep on taking me further down, further down. In my head, I'm like, all right, well, maybe at Washington Avenue, I'll be able to, you know what I mean, cross over Broad Street and get to her that way. You know what I mean? Because I got to get over to get to 11th. Yeah, the Mummers Parade. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? Did anybody ever been in a Mummers Parade? I've never been in a Mummers Parade. But anyway, that's a whole nother situation. But anyway, I'm saying to myself, now mind you, I'm in traffic now, and not only is it you can't cross Broad Street, but it's diverting all traffic in one area. So it's traffic is piling up. So we downtown, traffic is piling up and piling up. So to get from one block to the next, it's like 10 minutes just from like 16th to 15th. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. So now I'm in this traffic for about an hour. You know what I mean, 30 minutes at this point, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just call an Uber. You know what I mean? I don't even know why somebody would want somebody to have to go through hours of traffic to get to you when you do have Ubers. Because there's Ubers on that side of Broad Street I could have just
He
took you home,
wanted
whoop,
to pay
and we'd have been
$80
good to
for
go.
a
So
Uber. Because
so
that's
anyway,
how
that's
high
that.
I probably would have been because all this stuff going on. But go
But
ahead.
but but either way, you know what I mean. I end up, you know what I mean. I end up chilling down. Mind you, it ate my entire day. I had a toothache, you know what I'm saying, that I was, you know what I'm saying, nurturing throughout this whole process, you know what I mean? It was just it was a lot, you know what I mean? So anyway, uh I get over to the other side, I get it, we good. But patience for me, you know what I'm saying, is a limitation to patience with me. A lot of people seem to think, like I was saying earlier, that I'm patient, and I think I am to a certain
He right.
degree, you know what I mean? But my thing is, I'm patient when I feel that, you know what I'm saying, there's effort. If there's effort on your behalf, then I am open to being patient. You know what I mean? But if I get signals that you're not willing, you know what I'm saying, that you're not trying to meet me halfway, if I get signals that you don't care, if I get signals that, you know what I'm saying, like you're not willing to you're not putting in work, you know what I mean, within this situation, then at the while, you know what I'm saying, for me, that patience is done because I'm patient with somebody that is actively working with me. If you're not actively working with me, then it's not patience because I'm not investing in somebody that's not actively working with me. And I've been in a situation like that in a relationship where once I got the signal where, you know what I mean, Shorty at the time just had this like nonchalant attitude. Well, I ain't gonna say nonchalant. Maybe it was, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But, you know, she was smelling herself, I guess. I don't know. And the vibe I got was like, man, she ain't really, you know what I'm saying, um, trying to really continue to invest in what we got going on. She trying to do it her way. And I had to cut that right off. At that moment, when Shorty was like, I don't gotta do nothing. It was about some type of situation we was talking about. And I was like, you know what? You right, man. From that point on, I was emotionally out of the game. It was a wrap, you know what I mean? And eventually I physically, you know what I'm saying, got away from this situation, but I was emotionally done with that, John. It was a wrap. I can't be patient with somebody that's not invested in something with me. That's just being stupid. So for me, I gotta identify if you invested in this with me because we can be rocking out this joint. You could be fucking up, but you really trying. I rock with you because we rolling. Ain't nobody perfect, and I'm gonna need you to give me that same grace. You know what I mean? Of being patient with me, so I can rock with that. But if I feel like you don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Then you know what I'm saying, like I have no patience for that at all. Ginger Bomb, what's happening? Patience.
Hey y'all,
Hey,
can
Jen.
you
Um,
hear me?
yeah,
Hi,
yeah, we rocking. You're not
Sheree.
gonna
Why
hold it
why
down.
we can't see you, Sheree? Why we can't see you, Sheree?
I know we want to see that makeup Jen did. Let's see what you.
You being
Come
brand
on
new.
now. Play with the Jesus.
I
Play
saw
with
a
the Jesus.
flash. I
my
saw a
hair,
flash.
my hair is not dead.
I saw the flash. She still look good now. Um, um. So I feel like I run out of patience a lot. Dang, that's what we talking about. But you know what I think? And I had a really good conversation with somebody about this one time. I think that patience and tolerance are very thin lines that are close to each other. And I think because we've tolerated so many different things, that's kind of what brings your patience level down, 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 till there's none left.
Hmm.
I agree.
Like you get to this point where it's just like you put hope in certain things and certain outcomes. Like we talk about this all the time. Subconsciously, you just like, okay, well, we talked about this, and so this should go this way, and then when it don't, you face a disappointment, and then it's this whole cycle. It's not just you don't just all of a sudden become impatient.
Hmm.
It comes from somewhere, and I think it's just from the habit of tolerating certain things, like and not having good practice with boundaries, because you could have boundaries or say you have boundaries all day but don't practice them, and you're taking on so much when you do that, and even if it's teeny tiny things, they add up after a while, and it'll take one thing to pull the trigger to make you snap. and get to that point where you're just like, you know what, I ain't dealing with this shit. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, like so in terms of tolerance, all right, you put I said in terms of tolerance, right? So like you saying your patience runs out because your tolerance been tested, basically.
Yeah, like I mean, with kids, you talking about relationships? Because it could be with
No, whatever.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after it's like if you put trust in what somebody says, or whether it's a child, whether it's a significant other, whether
The
it's a work relationship, it doesn't matter. If you kind of create guidelines about something, and somebody does something that kind of goes beyond those guidelines, and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Okay,
yeah.
you forgive them. You kind of tolerated it a little bit because you chose to continue to go forward with them, and then the same thing happens again, or something similar happens again, to knock it off a little bit, and then you just kind of like, you become more and more impatient because the same thing keeps repeating itself, and you like, well, it's not me, it's them, because they keep doing it. But then it's like, it kind of is, because you let them.
So how about this though? This the other thing. Do we have our expectations too high? Because you know what I mean, like I'm not gonna be my tolerance is not gonna be as you know what I mean, it's not gonna be tested as much if I don't have a high expectation for a particular thing. For certain people, you know what I mean, you have to like give them their own prescription. You know what I'm saying? This is like you got two kids. One kid might be good at math and the other one might be good at, I don't know, sports, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. So if I'm dealing with my one child that's good at math, you know what I mean, when it comes to them doing a math problem that I know that they all they need to do is focus and they got it, you know what I mean, then my tolerance may be a little different, you know what I mean. um Ultimately my patience may even be a little bit different depending upon how focused I think they're being. But it's like I know what she can actually handle. Now if I was to put the same child that's good at math and I put them on a soccer field and they don't know what's going on, I'm going to have to lower my expectations of that particular child because I know that the sports thing isn't their thing. I still have to be patient and I'm going to really have to like reel in my patience because I know that she's starting from the
Mm-hmm.
ground up. You know what I mean? She's going to need
Mm-hmm.
an abundance of my energy in terms of patience.
Mm-hmm.
Michael.
People do that too. That's like a parent
Mm-hmm.
overbearing. Kick that damn boy. What the fuck is your problem? Woo, woo. It's like, damn nigga, like she chill. Like she get it
Mm-hmm.
over time. You gotta relax. So my question is like, are we giving particular people? Should we be lowering our expectations for certain people? Just allowing them, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to jump over some of these hurdles instead of making the hurdles for some of these motherfuckers so high, and it's damn near impossible for this particular person to jump that hurdle. And now your patience is getting, is getting worn thin because it's like they're not meeting that objective. You know what I mean? But they just not
Mm-hmm.
built for that. So are we setting our expectations of certain people too high?
I think so. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but again, when you're in a marriage or you in a relationship with somebody, you want to have high expectations. You don't want to have low expectations about the person. That's why you give people the benefit of the doubt, and that's why you think if you have certain conversations with the person that they will get it and they will understand and they will try to work or improve on whatever it may be. But, sometimes it don't work like that, and then you lose those expectations. But then when you lose certain expectations for the person that you with, then that causes an issue too, because it's like, well, you don't give me the benefit of the doubt. But when I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, you wasn't trying to change anything. You wasn't trying to work on anything either. So it's like,
That. That.
how long are we going to keep giving you the benefit of the doubt? How
That.
long are we going to keep having this same conversation until you get it when it's like too late and then now
Mm-hmm.
I want to be done with you or don't want to be bothered with you no more. And then now
Mm-hmm.
you feel like I'm giving up, or I didn't try to work it out, or I'm not giving you a chance, or I mean, when do the person get it? Like, all right, let me get my shit together, or let me get my stuff together, depending on what the situation is.
I'm gonna answer real quick, and Jen, you chime in. But I think honestly, like I I think with marriage, like I think with marriage, you know what I'm saying, for real, it's kind of different. Like if you dating, you know what I mean, then I'm expecting this. See, if I'm dating, right, I'm I'm going to be judging you based on if I think this can work for me for the rest of my life. And if some of this shit that I'm, expecting from you is not really up your alley, then I'm gonna look somewhere else for somebody that, comes in a realm that I can be comfortable and say, you know what, all right, I know he got some shit here and there, but I can kind of handle that shit for life if we get married or something like that. You know what I mean? So you kind of vetting people out from, if you think about it, when you're dating, you're vetting them out to see if this is something I can rock with. Sometimes people for season, you know what I mean? People for reasons and things like that. But when you marry, you know what I mean? It's like you're going to take shit that you don't want to take. Nigga gonna step on the line, motherfucker gonna cross the line. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make a new line and then they gonna cross that again. I don't know what that is, but and I'm not saying they not working on it, but motherfuckers they gonna be who they gonna be who they is at the while when you get married, and at some point you gonna have to accept them for who they are. Thank you.
But that's not necessarily true though, because you can't just say that that's just who the person is, because people grow every day. Yeah, it might be a phase in their life that they're doing something, but you can improve. You can try to work on it and get better with it. Like, yeah, we all gonna have setbacks or whatever, but that don't mean you just need to keep doing the same thing
Oh
over and over
no,
and
no, I
over.
agree with you. No, I'm not
And
saying
I'm not gonna make the excuse that, oh well, you just gotta accept the person for who they are. Nah.
no, but I'm not saying somebody's deliberately doing what you might not like, but it's like you really when you marry somebody, you took them for their good and their bad, and you should have done the research to see approximately what their bad is and see if that's something that you could work with or not. But if you married, you take it. You're not just taking somebody for their good. You're taking them
But
for
then
better and worse.
Yeah.
some people I have known have gotten married just to act an ass. Like they take them vows like you can't
Damn.
never leave me, and so then it's this thing of, oh well, you stuck with
Like
me for
somebody
life, so
having
this
a
is
baby.
how it is. Then they gradually get worse. Like that's crazy to me. But some people just they don't have I don't know, a good mind for marriage. It's whatever. Anyway, so what I was gonna say was both of y'all actually tied in the point I was trying to make before, about tolerance. And I think the other part is I do agree with what you're saying about expectations for other people. And I think that comes from based on what we know. Like the more you know about a person, like last week when I was saying expectations start to grow in the background, whether you kind of realize it or not. Because then once something goes wrong, that's when you kind of see that the flow has been interrupted. And then that's when anything can happen. So yeah, I do think that expectations play a big part. I don't, I guess as you, I don't know, grow through the relationship, it'll kind of gauge itself on how much more or less you actually look to a person or expect things from a person. But like I said, as you grow, even if it's something small, it don't even have to be anything big. You take certain things on as you get to know a person. Even being a mom, having a new baby, you're taking on motherhood. You're learning to understand what that's like. You're learning a new part of yourself. So when you're in a relationship and it kind of reflects and also teaches you parts about who you are as a person. So it can go so many different directions when you learn, you can learn patience in so many different ways. You have to be willing, you have to like want to work with somebody else. Some people who just be like, I'm not taking that. Just like you said, Jamal, like it became the line of the century. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Like it. Oh my God. Somebody I know
Telling you.
used to say that all the time. It got on my last nerves. And it's like, yeah. And the more you say it, the more you chopping your own time down. Because you
Yes.
basically telling the universe that you don't have time. And now you done said it so much, it seems like you don't even want time. So what are you here for?
Wow. But that's a good joint because you don't got time for nothing. It's like, you know what I mean? You don't want time. And you manifesting it. That's why like we gotta be careful too, you know what I mean, about what we saying. Because you really is creating that for yourself. I don't need
Yep.
no this, I don't need that, this, that, and the third. I ain't got time. Like you creating that for yourself. And that's what life
Yep.
is about. Life is about time. It's about finding time and sharing time and creating, you know what I'm saying, moments within time. And so it's like you sitting up here really just you're wasting time by saying you ain't got no time because you're not, you know what I'm saying, you're not committing time to something to create a memory. And the memory is everything. You know what I mean? The memory is everything. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really think that, you know, a lot of times people are realizing that you'll take anything, everything you say you won't take for
Hey
the right
y'all.
person. You're gonna take that shit. You're gonna tolerate it for the right person. Cause this
Right.
person right here, and that's why like a lot of times we got these big requests of what we want and what we don't want, but it really don't mean nothing because you'll adjust that based on the person that's coming with it. So you might say somebody might say, oh, you know what I mean, I ain't messing with nobody that don't make X amount of dollars or whatever the case may be. But you might expect that just from this person. But you got another person that comes in your space and you got so much love for them, you ain't even think about that dollar amount. So we be having all of these expectations of people, and most of that shit don't even matter for real. It really don't. Because you're gonna change, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna change how you feel about your expectations based on who's in front of you. So, you know what I mean? That's why I don't think really, you know, on the expectation level, a lot of people swear they, you know, they got a high standard. A lot of people swear like, damn, why do I have to, you know, quote unquote, and I hate this term, settle? You know what I mean? Why do I have to be, you know what I mean, patient? I don't have time. You know, all of these things, you know what I'm saying? You know, my this doesn't meet my standard, this and the third. And a lot of people not realizing like it's somebody that's looking at you the same way. That same person that you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you know, you lowered your standard for, they looking at you like that too. That same person that you feel like, damn, I don't got time for his this or his that. That person is saying the same thing about you. The same person that you making patience for and time for, they're doing it for you too. We're none of us is perfect. So a lot of times we come into a situation like we just got everything together and we're the only ones that's making sacrifices. We're the only ones being patient. We're the only ones. No, you know, that person on the other side of you is making sacrifices and everything too. So a lot of times, man, it's important to be patient because you need somebody to be patient with you as well. It's not just, you know, you have to be patient for somebody else. You need that same reciprocity. You need that same karma. So if you're patient with people, then you're gonna get that karma of people being patient with you when you make mistakes or, you know, when you're trying to come around. So like that's, to me, I think that's, you know what I mean, that's a big thing. But I mean, and it's hard, you know what I mean? It's hard to nowadays, you know, just with, we just so used to everything just happening so fast. But, you know, I think patience is a thing too, where it matures you. You know what I mean? It gives you a better, it makes you a better person. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my thoughts on that. You know what I mean? Cherie, what you think about, you know what I'm saying? Just that whole thing of like patience versus, you know what I'm saying, like, um, or because this is another thing, loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like loyalty is a fine line between loyalty and, you know what I mean, and stupidity. Because sometimes you could be loyal in a situation that wouldn't ride for you the same way. You know what I mean? So How you feel about in term like that term? You know what I'm saying? In terms of like loyalty and somebody riding. How do you know the difference? I'm gonna ask this to Jen. How do you know or what kind of signals do you get to let you know when is the time when you're getting taken for granted versus you being patient or you just being loyal to somebody that would do the same for you? Like how where's the line that's drawn that lets you know like hold up, you know what I'm saying? I'm riding for my guy. Or hold up,
I
like
think it depends on the
it's
circumstances.
one
I think
way.
it depends on what it is.
Mm,
Like it depends on what's going on in that moment. I feel like where those expectations or that loyalty will lie, or where you feel like that person is being patient,
mm,
with you. It just depends on the situation for me, in my opinion. Like, I would expect you to have that, just have the same energy I have for you with situations that's just going on within our relationship or marriage or whatever. Don't overreact. Okay, I have to say,
mm,
I feel like women, even though it's not a gender thing, I feel like we have more patience when intolerance when it comes to a lot of different things that men do. Like, but with men, y'all can't take it. I feel like y'all can't. I think as soon as the situation get hot for y'all out. Y'all ready? Y'all running and getting the first thing smoking. It ain't no old bait. I can't talk you off the cliff. I can't give you hugs and kisses and tell you how much I'm sorry and all. I can't do that. Not. I feel like men ain't built that way. Y'all not built for that, but y'all want us to be that way.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, damn, why I can't have that same energy? You know what I mean? I messed up. I'm sorry. I apologize. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. You know I love you and only you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I give that conversation or that spill and we can kumbaya and have sex and happily ever after like nothing ever happened?
You want me to answer that?
I'm just asking. You
Well, I
can.
mean, well, I'm my response to that, you know what I mean? Let's just is because men's and women's, and we use this term before, expectations are different. You know what I mean? And a woman told me this. She was like, Ma, the reality of it is like, you know, a man cheated, a woman getting cheated on. You know what I'm saying? She can handle that. You know what I mean? A man can't handle that. The expectations are different. She was like, a woman's loyalty is her viewpoint of loyalty from her man is different. So her viewpoint of loyalty is can he provide? You know what I mean? Can he hold down, our fort in terms of just being supportive within the household? Is he a provider? You know what I mean? Is he a protector?
You don't know what
Some of
you're
those
talking about.
things. You know what I mean? In terms of a definition of loyalty. And she was like, with men, loyalty is more so about, you know what I mean? Can she, you know what I'm saying, be loyal in terms of emotionally, you know what I'm saying, and not and not, you know what I mean, share her emotions with other men, you know what I mean, or physical, you know what I mean, sexual, or you know what I'm saying, that emotion side. So our expectation of what loyalty is different. I don't expect my woman to necessarily be a protector, or necessarily be a provider, things like that. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? We have different expectations. And I think the problem happens when we try to make men women and women men. It's okay for us to have different duties or different, you know what I'm saying, like things that we're drawn to. It just makes us unique. It makes it more dynamic because we have different expectations. So when we come together, we can be more efficient and we can accomplish more. But we're not the
Can I say
same.
something about
Period. Because
loyalty?
I'm grabbing
Can I
the
say something
strap.
about
Okay.
loyalty?
Yep,
Can I say
sure,
something about loyalty?
sure.
I feel like loyalty is one of those things that has been misdefined for a very long time, and 99% of y'all might disagree with what I'm about to say. I don't think loyalty has anything to do with a person to person. I always believe that loyalty has to do more of, go back, close the door because the dog gonna keep barking. It has more to do with you believing in you committing to what you believe is right and doing that. Like you got to be loyal to yourself before you're loyal to anyone else. It's just like anything else. I think that loyalty is one of them things like it seemed like the people who always want the most loyalty, like they really, really holding people to the wall for it, are the most disloyal people. The biggest liars always want the truth. Murderers don't never want to fucking die. They so scared. You get them back in the corner. They, oh my God, please don't kill me. So you can go kill somebody else 5 minutes later. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's one of those things that I feel like have been misinterpreted, and people get, you know, they go to the grave with things that they know they wouldn't do themselves because they're so dedicated to a person that could be doing all the wrong things. Like, what is that? What is that? And I feel like character, like good character, can be built based on how loyal you are to yourself. You ain't choosing between well, you can choose between the different yous. I guess you can, but like I don't know. I got my thing, my own things, my beliefs about loyalty and love and all that. I just feel like we don't have the whole gist of most of these things, which is why we keep struggling to get most of them together. Like, it's such a struggle to get balance. You know what I'm saying?
It is. I
I
mean,
don't know.
no, I mean, I understand what you're saying because, like, I think like nowadays, our relationships is in like a place that it hasn't been before. You know what I'm saying? So we all have to really have back the patience. We got to have patience. You know what I'm saying? Because like it as long as we can remember. You know what I'm saying? The structure of a household was the same. You know what I'm saying? Man is head of household. You know what I mean? He's the provider. You know what I mean? Financial provider. The woman. You know what I'm saying? Is the educator. Make sure everything is ran in the house. You know what I mean? In the household, and that's been like that for probably hundreds of years. You know what I mean? And so for the last, I don't know, maybe 60 years, 70 years, you know what I mean? Or so, it's been different. So we're dealing with a new dynamic in our households. And that's okay. But we gotta have patience with each other because now women are making more money than men. You know what I mean? They're in a situation where they're in better position a lot of times than men to make this money. You know what I mean? So we gotta be patient and understanding because I've seen that change happen, and then I've seen women that look down on men that's not making more than them. You know what I mean? And as opposed to, like I said, for hundreds of years, you know what I mean? I don't know a man that has looked down on a woman because she was making less than him. You know what I mean? Or even just picking a woman just because of how much she made. So, I'm okay with the fact that we do have to redefine what our households look like, or just like accept the fact that each household is just going to be different. I mean, stop trying to judge, how your household should be ran based on, what I mean, society's gauge of that. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, things are much different. You know what I mean? So we have to really be real about that. Your household should be customized for what works best for your household. You know what I mean? And we got to have patience. Everybody judging somebody, a dude or whatever like that because of how much he make or don't make, or, you know what I mean? Like, we really can't look at it like that because things have changed. You know what I mean? Women are making just as much, if not more, than men at times. And we all got to be patient and have some, understanding. Because other than that, we got people that are good people that can't even stay in a relationship long. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it makes no sense. It's not about money. Because I seen two broke Mexicans on Belmont. You know what I mean? And the wife had a child in her belly and a child with her, and the dad was out there. He was pretty much like just asking for money. He had a joint up, and they looked like they kept themselves up, but he might have just been through some hard times, and she was riding for him. You know what I mean? She wasn't like this broke ass nigga. He ain't who. No, she was riding for him, and you know what I'm saying. And so, like, it ain't about money. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about you know what I mean? If he could protect, he ain't look like he was no major protector. He didn't necessarily look like he was just, this amazingly handsome dude. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we be having all these expectations. Oh, a nigga gotta have this, he gotta have this, he got money, he gotta be, you know what I mean, woo woo, you know, he gotta be a bad, he gotta be a nigga that can knock somebody the fuck out. Like all that shit really don't matter. And I see relationships. I seen a relationship white boy. He's skinny and short. His girl fat and tall. You know what I mean? And they happy as shit. You know what I mean? Straight up. I just seen. I'm like, damn. It was like one of these little shows, and somebody broke in the crib or something, and she's protecting this nigga. You know what I mean? He was screaming and shit. He was like, I got PTSD. Oh my god, they was getting robbed, and she got the level head and everything. Woo, and after all that, they just madly in love. So we be having all these expectations of what we need and all that for our man, our woman to be, and that shit really don't mean nothing. This motherfuckers that's really, you know what I mean, in love, you know what I mean, with families, you know what I'm saying, and they looking for something deeper. A lot of our shit, I think a lot of our shit is on some shallow shit. I mean, that's you know, my thoughts on some of that. You know what I mean? How you feel, Scott?
Scotty.
Scott,
How y'all
hey.
doing? How y'all doing?
What's up? Jax, what up, Jax? Jax in the building. Oh, Bradshaw came right
I ain't
in
want to
there.
come on here. Hey, man, it's New Year. I ain't want to come on here and be toxic. How you doing, Jen? How you been?
Hello. Why y'all let him in the classroom?
How you doing, Jamal? How you doing, Jamal? How's everything going, Baba Jamal?
Everything's going well, beloved.
Cherie, I'm so blessed to know you. Happy New Year. Happy birthday. Ooh, she fucking them up. Okay.
Oh!
Down, baby.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Moulin
All right.
Rouge.
How y'all doing, man? So
All
listen, man. Y'all
right.
talking about patience, right?
Thank you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all talking about
Patience.
Yeah, Mo, I don't know what to say, man. You want to do a little rant, Mo. You just, you know what I'm saying? You just want to do a rant, man.
Man.
We got to give grace. We got to get grace. We got to have patience. We got to get grace, man. We got to come together. All the blacks, the whites, everybody, we got to come together.
Here we
Jen,
go.
you got to stop hating these men, Jen. There's some good men out here, Jen. There's some
Uh-huh.
good women out here. You know what I'm saying?
Who
Got to
said I
stop
hate
hating them.
men?
Got to give them a
I just
chance.
don't like you.
Huh?
Woo!
Join the team, Jen. Join the fucking team. You hear what I said? Join the team, beloved. But yeah, man, I just stepped in. I wanted to really say happy birthday to Cherie. You know, congratulations on another year, Cherie.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can see you soon. You know what I'm saying? You already know.
You not coming on Friday?
I ain't know if you want everybody to know. You know what I'm saying? So you already, man. See, you just
They
dropped the
don't know.
bomb.
Listen, when you know, you know. It don't even matter.
Okay, beloved. No, I'm not gonna miss it, Cherie. I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there. But no, man, we
Hey,
definitely, man. That's what I told you. That's what I'm working on this year, man. Just patience with just everybody, man. Because I know, like, in my own little way, I be like get mad at shit, like certain little shit, how people be moving and stuff like that. If they ain't moving like me, or they not even think like I'm like, you know, I wouldn't do that to certain people. You know what I'm saying? Or I wouldn't move a certain kind of way. So it's like I just gotta get better, man. Get better. That's it. That's
hey,
all. That's it, man.
hey, listen, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask this to Jen and Scott, right? Do y'all feel like, all right, since we talking about patience, right? Because I feel like I was in a situation, you know what I'm saying, relationship wise, where I was patient, you know what I'm saying? I was patient with somebody and they wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, keeping up, and you know what I mean? Eventually I just decided, like, you know what I'm saying, to move on. You know what I mean? And for me, I felt
Keeping
like,
up in what way? More like sexually or what? What way? Financially? What way was
no,
keeping?
it was just like on the tip of like just playing a part, you know what I'm saying? If we're a team, you feel me? It don't have to be anyone, like if we're a team, you know what I mean? It's like whatever I'm not doing, you know what I'm saying? You hold that down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're not doing, I hold that down. But if you know what I'm saying, if I'm holding shit down and you're not holding down your end of the bargain, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm patient with you. I want, you know what I mean, everything to work out, but you just not getting it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was more so like effort, like just adulting. You know what I mean? Being an adult and contributing to a partnership. I wasn't feeling the, you know what I mean, the equal balance of contribution in that zone. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I'm just saying that to say, yeah, I mean, when you know what I'm saying, I'm thankful that I decided after like 6 years or something like that to really move on. You know what I'm saying? But my question to y'all is, have y'all ever been in a situation, whether it's dating or whatever the case may be, where y'all bounce from a relationship and you look back at it and kind of wonder in the back of your head, like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, was I a little too quick with making that move? You know what I'm saying? And real quick, the reason why I say that is because my man, he was dating this one girl, and she was super cool, whatever the case may be. I don't know what it was, however they fell out or whatever like that. And she ended up like getting married like the next year or something. And we talk about it every once in a while. He be like, damn, like I really missed a good one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of had like a little regret about that, Jones. So my question to y'all, do y'all ever feel like y'all was in a situation where you wasn't as patient as you could have been, or felt like you should have had more patience with a particular person?
Me personally, Jamal, I'm gonna go first. You know, I always get fired, brother. I can't keep nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
So you already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't keep nobody. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep a motherfucking welfare recipient. But what I am going to say is that, like, as I got older, like I said, now I'm getting to know myself a little more. I try to be like much honest as possible. But I did have some situations where, like, I could have been more patient and also less selfish, if I can say that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I can say. But like the girls I usually have been with, I've been blessed. Like my exes and stuff like that been cool. It's been me doing dumb shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You know, a reaction is a reaction. You feel me?
So listen, do you think it's anybody that if they would have been a little bit more patient with you, y'all would have worked out a lot better?
Oh yeah.
And now it breaks up.
When we start the
You
count,
breaking up, huh?
I
Get the
think when we
metro
start the
together.
count. My man said he only had one dick suck. What in the world? That's crazy, bro.
Well, that's a problem.
I ain't patient with that, sister.
That.
I ain't patient with that.
That's one dick suck every 48,
That.
46
Right.
days. Jax is crazy.
But no,
Dangerous
man.
conversation
Yeah,
to try to
I
tackle issue.
definitely know that more. Like now, definitely. Now the spin back be real for sure.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said,
Reverse it.
I know myself a little better now. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. Definitely for sure.
All right, Jen, talk to us. You feel like you should have been more patient in any past relationships, or do you feel like anybody in the past should have been more patient with you and it would have worked out? You know what I mean? Talk to us. Hey,
My
Jack, that's
patience
fucked
is
up though.
being tested right now. My
Mm.
patience is being fucking tested
Oh,
right now.
wow. Wow.
Hold on. Where my sign at?
Jen, you
Shit.
want to expound on why your patience is being tested, Jen?
She about to show us a
You want to
sign.
expound on that?
It say Pots.
It say stop.
Oh, the boy Jackson and triggered her.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you thought that was Jackson? That's
It wasn't
funny.
KCS. It wasn't K.
Oh, was it? Steady telling on yourself.
It wasn't
That's so
me.
crazy. That's
There's a
so
lot of people doing
crazy.
this live.
Anyway,
Jackson here.
yes, I do feel like Maul said something about balance that I wanted to address. I do feel like, because you talked about leaving, you said it after 6 years, yeah, like you do want to. It's not like you there to take, but you do kind of want to feel that reciprocal type of energy. You want to feel balance, not even giving the same thing, but just giving of something. And if you are just so like withdrawn into yourself and only want people to feed you, and you not feeding anybody else, that's going to cause a rift. Like me personally, I'm a woman that's now, I tell y'all all the time, I'm tired. I know how to be strong. I know how to put it in my back pocket. I'm at this point where I'm like looking to be led.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn things from somebody other than myself because I had to know so much shit for so long that I'm fucking tired. Like, and it's not that I'm not willing. It's just overwhelming. So you need rest. And when you get to this point where you just like you want to figure it out, you do kind of want to do it with somebody.
Mm.
So I felt like I was too patient with a lot of people and overgave. And that's what probably brought me to this point. But it also kind of like what we was talking about earlier, about it being like a blessing in disguise, because it taught me where to land myself,
Mm.
and to stick to certain boundaries if I really, really, really want to see certain results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I personally feel like I was too patient with people, and it brought me to an impatient part. And then now I'm just trying to ease up on myself
Mm-hmm.
and put me first. And because I finally realized that even that part ain't selfish. That's not selfish. I felt like it was selfish for a long time. That's probably
Yeah.
why I overgave, people please, and all that shit. All that stuff you hear, all of it. All of it.
Yeah.
So,
That's a big thing. You know, I don't really like, when people try to stamp you with being selfish, because what's the word? You know what I mean? Nobody gave me a word for giving to everybody. They only gave me a word when I gave to my motherfucking self. You understand what I'm
mm,
saying? Like people will really trick you out position. How the fuck is me, you know what I mean, being conscious of my needs? How is that offensive to anybody else? But when I give to everybody, when I get my last dime, when I'm on my ass, when I'm bending over backwards, I don't get no term for that, John. You know what I mean? Maybe sucker. That's you know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's up to you how much you need to be given to you, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we give way more than people will ever give us credit for. So I don't even be buying that, Joe. You know what I mean? So, that's my Joan on that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, Jamal. For sure.
Hey Scott, you know what I mean? Listen, in business, talk to me. You know what I mean? Is there a time that patience worked in your benefit within business? And the reason why I'm going to the business side of things is because honestly, a relationship is a form of business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is a commitment between two, you know what I mean, entities that are trying to further benefit and have a common goal in mind. So my question to you, Scott, is there a time in business where your patience was beneficial to you, either in the long run or up front?
A matter of fact, I'm gonna just give an example. Yeah, so one of my partners now, me and her partners now. Like when I first met her, I consider her a friend now. Like a friend, we partners, we bought shit together and all that. Like when we first met her, I ain't like her, and she was slow paying that bread. So I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
fucking with like that. I ain't like her. And like me, I'm silly. I've been silly even though I'm on my ass. I'm broke. I was always silly. I didn't like her. Like yo, I ain't like her. I was real serious around and all that. So now it's like we got through that project, and I just gave her like another chance. And I did something else for her, and we were just all right one day. And then she gave me like a little bit of pointers, and then we just cool from there. But initially, I wasn't gonna fuck with her no more, and I just gave her like another situation. Now, like me and her solid. Like I mean, she actually owed me bread. Like I said, we bought a crib together and everything. So like yeah, certain situations like patience thrown out, and like even like for her, like had I like initially thrown her away, like I'd have blocked the blessing. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because she definitely she do a lot for me, man. She do a lot for me. If I got like life advice, all that kind of stuff. So for sure, she paid for my birthday dinner a couple years ago.
Hold up, cryo,
Huh?
cryo.
No. Me and Cryo always been good. No, I
Okay,
don't think
okay,
you know.
okay,
You ain't come to my birthday dinner. No, that's right.
okay.
She don't come to nothing for real, for real. She be around, but she don't come to nothing. But yeah, bro. Yep.
That's the
That was
no.
that was one of that was one of the situations though. Like I ain't like her at all. I was sick. I was like, man, this tramp don't know what the fuck she doing. How the fuck we get the contract? Yeah, real rap. Like when I first
End up being the
was out
jewel.
there, that was one of the things. What else? There's so many, bro. Like you said, a business. Even if you play like the game of real estate and shit like that, you gotta have patience with that shit. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You see something, you get it. You put your money into it. You gotta have patience with that. I'm trying to think of another situation in business, man. It's
And
really
you know what's interesting though? this the thing about it. It's like we don't got no time, right, for the bullshit. You know what I mean? When it come to whether it's dating, you know what I mean, relationship.
We're going to grandma's house to go find
but if we really recognize it, everything that's of value really takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Even down to you set up the push-up challenge, John. Niggas started out with like 30 push-ups. You know what I mean? Went to 40. Then it was 50. Now motherfuckers on 70. Niggas doing 120. Yeah, some shit like that. It's like it's patience. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my whole thing. Is like
Oh,
We
boy.
got
Here goes
patience with this service.
Sebastian.
Ma, what the fuck is going
Here
on with
he
the
go
service,
under the
man?
sea again.
Ma, we gotta have patience with your carrier. What the fuck?
We on the same carrier. I
You
don't
gotta
know
be
what's going
patient.
on.
You gotta be patient because of his
You definitely
Wi-Fi.
gotta be patient. Cherie, where
Damn.
you at, Cherie?
Getting my hair done.
Woo, where at? Your shop? Or where you at?
I'm at Crazy Hands.
Oh, hey,
My
crazy.
girl.
Hey,
It's
crazy.
also hey Crazy Hands.
Hey. What do I call you?
This
That's
whole
what's up.
signal just dropped.
Yeah, Jamal out of pocket, man. Jamal out of pocket. So what about you, Sheree? What you been, what business stuff you been patient in? You know, Ma was being what stuff you been patient in business?
I'm very patient when it
Damn.
comes to business. Very, 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 very patient. Because people can be, well, in my line of business, part of the line of business I'm in, people are very rude and nasty, but I just give them a smile.
Mm.
But I think I'm very patient when it comes to the business aspect of it because it's like at the end of the day, like, just run me my check. That's it. That's all. Like, you know what I mean? I might not have to see you again, or I might just see you again because ain't nobody gonna tolerate you but me. So you can just continue to act crazy and do all that extracurricular stuff, and act like you don't want to be bothered with me, and then you're gonna go to somebody else, and then they ain't gonna want to be bothered with you at all, and then you're gonna just come back to me. Most of
When
my
did you cut ties? When did you cut ties, Sheree?
When do I cut ties? I
When
actually don't ever cut ties with people. I'm not that type of person.
yes, you do. Come on
I was
now.
No,
gonna say,
I
come
don't.
on, Sheree. You being toxic. You cut ties with
I
people.
am not. When it comes to business, Jamal, we talking about business.
We talking about business.
Yeah, we ain't talking about family. Talking about business. Now the family part, oh, they're getting cut. But no, I think I'm patient when it comes to the business aspect of it.
Mm.
I'm
What
real
about your
patient.
clients? What about with clients?
Clients too, yeah. I'm real patient. I be having all crazy clients. They be saying
Mm.
all types of stuff and acting a certain kind of way, but I love them. They love me. They be back. So
Mm.
I don't really quit on clients because I mean I have people who chair hoppers and all that, and then when
What's a
things
chair
ain't
hopper,
right and
Sheree? What's a chair
they,
hopper?
huh?
What's a chair hopper?
A chair hopper is a client that's not consistent, who is not loyal, who will go to another stylist to do something else, and then when they hair get all messed up, they come back to you to fix it. That's a chair hopper.
What's wrong? I don't know. I think women be getting certain like different styles all the time. I can see a man being loyal to his barber more than a woman being
No,
loyal.
some women are very loyal when it comes to their hair, to their
But you can't
hairstylist.
do every
Yeah,
style, Sheree. You can't. I know certain kind of weaves women can do, certain kind of there's
yeah,
curls
no,
and all
no,
that kind
that's
of stuff.
true. Yeah, no, that's true for sure. But you know, you don't have to be.
Crazy hand can't do waves. Crazy hands can't do waves. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know. You know what I'm saying? She do weaves and shit. She probably can't do waves. She can't give me the honeycomb and all that. So
You're not the
Not the honey.
honeycomb. I'm crying. Listen, clients is the same way. I get clients all the time that I might not see for a long time. They done got all kinds of stuff, and then they come back to me talking about, yeah, I had went to so and so, and then now my hair look like this. I said, yeah, because they don't care about your hair. You got hairstylists that just do hair. That's it. Whatever whatever gift they got or technique they got down pack, that's all they care about. They don't care about nothing else.
Hmm.
And those are the ones that people go to, but that's only temporary. I'm permanent, and I know I'm a permanent, so it don't
Mm.
bother me none. See you when you get back.
Mm.
See you when you get back.
I don't even really be on that. Like, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not really big on. I don't really have a high expectation. Back to that word. You know what I mean? Listen, no expectations, no letdowns. That's the other thing. You know what I mean? I just I put out a quality product. You know what I mean? And I let that speak for itself. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, bind nobody to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not the guy
Nobody
that's
owe me
calling you like,
nothing.
yo, I ain't see you in a couple weeks and all that. I don't do that. You know what I mean? I put the focus into the quality work. I let that speak for itself, and I let that, you know what I'm saying, be the attraction. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know,
Oh, Jamal,
huh?
you hit him with the boy, where you been? You know?
Boy, where
Ain't
you
seen you in a
been?
while. Ain't seen you in a while. Boy, where you been? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I ain't that guy, man. I ain't pulling up on you, man. You know, you can drink
I
your
ain't doing
milk in
all that.
peace. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, you know, I think, man, on some real stuff, man, in terms of just your expectations, you know what I mean, things like that. I think a lot of times you gotta study the art of not giving a fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
We gotta lower our expectations with certain things and just, enjoy the ride, man. Sometimes we gotta enjoy the ride. That's why I don't like that question, like if you dating or even on the first date, like where are we going with this? Or it's just like, nigga, enjoy the ride. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like, we vibing. Sometimes we gotta be in the moment. You know what I'm saying? You so paranoid about the future, you're not enjoying the present. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's gonna make somebody to pass. So it's like, you know, we got we got to lower our expectations in terms of, you know what I'm saying, the letdown. I had to tell it to my son, like son, come on, man. You know what I mean? Get back on your horse, man. You know, stop, a lot, like, stop expecting so much. Have a good time, you know what I mean, with your girlfriends and all of that, whatever the case may be. You putting people on the pedestal, and we gotta stop doing that. You know what I mean? That Prince Charming joint is the biggest letdown ever. And that's when look, Jen, that's your biggest thing. Scam. It's all a scam. But that's what it is. Looking for that Prince Charming is a scam, cuz. No. You know what I mean? Enjoy the moments with people, you know what I'm saying? And then, you kind of rock from there. But
I like
but
that.
yeah,
Put it down.
that's my whole thing, man. Where Jax at? Hey Jax, man, tell us about them, you know what I mean? About Shorty, man, that
Getting off.
wasn't giving up the head, man.
Jack,
The what?
Tell us about Shorty, Jax. Jack said he was very patient with a young lady, you know what I mean?
I want
And they
you.
was together for 6 years,
mm,
and he got less than 15 blowjobs. You know
mm.
what I mean? That's pretty bad. That's less than 3 blowjobs a year. You know what I mean? And I must say that definitely shows a lot of patience. The fact that you stuck in there for 6 years, brother.
Yeah, we'd have been done.
Done. You know what I mean,
Listen, don't front. Y'all listen. Stop acting like y'all just been done. No, y'all wouldn't. Y'all been sticking it out, trying to figure out, give hints, slide a head down a little bit.
but that's what he said. That's what he said. He said he was, he was, you know what I mean? He said he tried all of the tricks. He said she just wasn't catching that. She just, you know what I mean?
Damn, you know what though? How much patience or how much grace do you tell somebody when you need something done or you want something done or you used to having something done? I ain't talking financial. I'm just something they can control, right? Or you
Mm-hmm.
just don't like doing it. How do you say like, listen, I need this, and if they don't do it, it's like, damn, my nigga, like, how much patience are you supposed to have?
Damn, that's
Especially
tough.
if you married and shit.
That's tough, bro. Cause that's like changing you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you gotta accept something, like, cause eventually you gotta either accept them for who they are, you know what I mean, or you got to move on. And if you accept them for who they are, that mean that's changing your expectation like that. Well, not even your expectation. That's changing like your standard. You know what I mean? So that's kind of interesting. It got to depend on how much you really rock with that person.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Cause look at this. Look. Cause I'm gonna say it like this. What you could rock with somebody. What if it's really just not them? Like even like I like a nice meal. You know what I mean? Let's just say I don't know, a good 3-4 times a week, something like that. You know what I mean? Just a home cooked joint, whatever. You know what I mean? But what if I was with a mate that really just either couldn't cook or just really did not like to cook, had a trauma behind cooking, maybe it might have been a house fire, whatever, I don't know, and just don't like to cook. You know what I mean? Like, is it unfair to you to be with somebody that doesn't cook if that's a love language for you, if that's something that you really appreciate and enjoy? You know what I mean?
I think cooking is like a skill though, Maul, so they can grow to like. I mean, like you said, she got a trauma or something like that. There's other things she can do. Probably get some family members to cook or something, or go somewhere to get like a home cooked meal or something. I mean, you can find somewhere to cook. I think that's kind of sort of like, yeah, they gonna figure that shit out. You'll figure that shit out.
But even head though, let's
That's what I'm talking about. Fuck all I'm
but even
cooking. That's what
head.
I'm talking about.
What
You
if
can
it
control
was a
that.
trauma?
We trauma bonding. I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
I'm just saying. What if it was a trauma behind, you know what I'm saying, giving head, and then, a girl that she really loved really had a trauma behind it and just couldn't see herself doing it anymore. Like, that's kind of messed up.
What I'm trying to say, love, that's kind of tough, bro. Like, if I love you, like, you know what I mean? I can like somebody. When I like, I like. So when I like what I'm love, it's like, it's different.
Somebody phone.
I don't know who's going with that. Where's Jen? Jen shit spinning around.
Jen, we already know what you mean.
Yeah, Jen on that Jamal playing.
You got no.
No, I'm not. I just
Uh-uh.
cussed somebody out over a text.
Listen, I got an apple. Let's just go there. You know what I mean? My joint is a fruit.
So what do you do? So what do you do as a? Excuse me. So y'all always talk my head. So what do you do as a woman if it's a guy that's out here on this DJ Khaled shit?
So
I don't eat pussy. What you
Damn,
supposed to do with that?
don't eat pussy. That's wild.
DJ Khaled.
Oh, DJ Khaled, that's dope.
It's
What?
dope.
So both of y'all as a collective just going to fly past that? Both of y'all?
I think hygiene is important.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta trust the person that you're doing it to. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I think they
That's it.
For me, that's the main too.
I can only speak for myself. If like, it would be a problem if I can't get no head. That's just, you know what I mean? Not even on the gender tip, you know what I mean? I don't know how important head is for women, but for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a form of like head is sex too, but then it's a form of like, you really, you know what I mean, showing me how much you fuck with me. Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause you could fuck all day. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? That's what we do. But when you give a motherfucker head, that's like a little bit more of a humbling, you know what I mean, sexual, you know what I'm saying, gift. So, you know what I mean? Like that kind of, let me know you rock with me. You know what I mean? You like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You feel me? So I need to know that you like me. You know what I mean?
I'm crying, Ma. You like me?
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. If I'm not getting head, I'm not gonna be comfortable in that situation. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna feel liked. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Straight up.
Right. So you leave the situation alone, right?
You say what?
You leave the situation alone.
Probably. There's a lot of people out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the other thing. You know, somebody's cool with it. Somebody likes to do it. You know what I mean? And so that's what it kind of boils down to, whether we like it or not. Like, somebody gonna do it. You know what I mean? So
You're not just gonna have anybody down there though.
Men would. They just want head. They don't care who doing it.
Relax. You should read some hygiene.
No, thank you, Sheree.
I'm
Thank you,
just
Motherfucker,
Sheree.
saying. I'm just
motherfucking
saying.
Teeth Brown missing this shit. You like, come on, man.
Not
What the
T
fuck?
Brown.
Come on, Sheree. We in
I'm just
2023,
saying.
Sheree.
I know we're in 2023. That's my point exactly. That
Mm.
we're in 2023 now. Come on now,
But
beloved.
but
Mm.
but
I just
niggas,
don't understand people who hold back during. I just feel like sex is a really intimate experience. I don't understand. Maybe it's being over 40. Like I don't like. I just feel like I agree with you, Mo. You should trust who you with, and I think it should be like a full on experience. If you're gonna have one, it shouldn't be with any type of restriction because then everything is gonna feel like that. Like the sexual part of whatever your relationship is kind of seeds everything else to me because no matter what you do, you're gonna think about that. And I think that's true because you'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, she only stayed with him because the dick was good." You know, like so it has that kind of effect. You know what I'm saying? Like other shit can happen, but that'll keep somebody sitting there. It might not be the best decision, but I'm
yeah,
just saying it has power.
yeah, it does.
And something like that shouldn't be shrunk or cut short and it's selfish to take and not give. I don't like that. I don't understand that.
You know it's
I
better to
gotta
give
go.
than receive, Jen.
Huh?
You know it's better to give than receive.
Oh, well, you should take your own advice.
Ooh.
What? We're a
Ooh.
very
Like,
giving
what just
person.
happened?
Jen, you fucking kidding me?
He like, what just happened? No, but my thing is,
Well,
I'm big on like. You know what I mean?
I
I'm
gotta
very
go.
big.
I gotta go make my garlic bread.
I'm very big on like. You know what I mean? I think like is stronger than
Scotty
love.
don't.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So yes,
that's funny.
yeah. Like to me is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like is stronger than love. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Oh, you said like is stronger than love?
Like is stronger than love
Okay.
all day. You
That's
know?
true, Maul.
Huh?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Because I mean,
Cause it
you
said,
know,
cause
go ahead.
I was
No,
going, cause hold on, I was doing somebody's nails this one time, and she was like, I ain't never think of it like this. She said, I know everybody on here ain't Christian, but she said something biblical about how God says you gotta love everybody, but you don't have to like them. And like
wow.
I couldn't digest it at first. I had to keep saying it over and
Wow.
over again. I finally understood, and I was just like, "That's so true." Because sometimes when you hear people say, "Oh, I love you," I like sometimes it's just not the truth, and it feels better to say. But you absolutely can. Like if I see somebody and I've been mad at them for a while, and I see them like 6 months later, when I first see them, I'm so happy to see that they're alive. I'm not thinking about none of that shit. And then
Mm-hmm.
like 10 minutes later, I'm like, well, goddamn, why ain't I speak to them or see them in so long? And it'll be like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I ain't like that shit that they did. They got to, you know what? And then it'll all start coming back. Like all of a sudden you remember. But the core part of me is like excited to see that they still here, you know,
That's
kind of
love.
moving
Yeah.
through life trying to figure that shit out. But I don't like you though.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
like,
Like,
you know, yeah.
yeah, so that's, you know what I mean? That's my whole thing. Because you got family that you love, but you don't fuck with. You know what I mean? And you got people that you like. You never met them a day in your life. You know what I mean? You might, I mean, like to the point where you even feel like you love Beyonce, but you just like her. You like her ass a lot. You never met her ass a day in your life. You know what I mean? And like I said, you got people that you grew up with that you don't speak to because yeah, you love them. They got your same blood, but you don't like them. So you know what I mean? When it come to certain things, I'm judging it to see how much, you know what I'm saying, I'm liked. And I don't want to be in no situation where I'm not liked. I'll exit stage left. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely, big on testing to see, you know what I mean, where we at. I'm keeping the temperature. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's important. But when you're in long-term relationships, or if you're in marriage, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be definitely times when y'all don't like each other. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? it's definitely those times. You know what I mean? And
Love is patient.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
Love is patient.
oh, he done dropped the
Indeed.
jewel.
Indeed,
But no,
bro.
I like the joint y'all said. What you said though, Mo. That is true though. I'm just thinking about it. Like, damn, you know what? You can love somebody, but you can like, yeah, man, you can like somebody. That's just crazy because I'm thinking about like, damn, this some on some high shit. Like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you really can like somebody a lot. Like, you know what I mean, and fuck with them a whole lot and do more for that person as you would do for the person that you actually love. So
Yeah,
that shit is kind of weird.
yeah,
And
that's true.
preference plays a part too. Preference definitely plays a part. But like, damn, if you like someone, you definitely would go above and beyond. And the motherfucker that you love,
I mean, that's what people do even when you first start dating. When you're interested in somebody, you
Mm.
just handle them different. But then over time,
He be thinking shit.
you be in your mind.
Hey, all that shit. When you been with
You get
dad
the
for a while,
phone
they come in the house.
calls,
You be like, hey,
you get the meals, you get the heat, you get everything.
mm-hmm.
Just have it your way. And then as time go on, you be like, I don't like that nigga.
that's sex is a form of communication.
I
I be
get
telling
somebody else
people.
to do it.
You said what? Sex is a form of communication.
Yeah, for sure.
Affection for
I
sure.
was about to say
You know what
that,
I mean?
Maul.
That too. That too. You know what I mean? Affection. You know what I'm saying? Just all of that. You know what I mean? All that is communication. That lets you know a lot. You know what I'm saying? That lets you definitely know a lot, especially if you're paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
All right, Sheree, give us a quick little sneak peek. Damn, can I get a little sneak peek?
I'm not
Dang.
done yet. Get somebody else to do
Here we go. Here we go. Here we
it.
go.
Mm.
Here we go.
Mhm.
You
When
supposed
she
to give me
finish one side, let y'all see.
Ma, when the next event? Ma, when the next event?
Oh. Was you in here when we got the love connection, Joe?
No, I was at the range. I was at the range. I was on my way home from the range.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so
You shooting your
the
shot.
next in-person joint that we're gonna do a love connection joint. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So we're gonna take a certain
Yeah.
amount of singles and
We're gonna do a Valentine's Day weekend.
Oh
we're
shit.
gonna try to do a little, you know what I mean, a little matchmaking. I really no on some real stuff though.
Love connection.
I think that we know enough,
Oh yeah.
kind of solid people that we
Mm-hmm.
all right little connections. You know what I mean? I'm actually all right on the connect on the love connection, John.
Mm.
I'm all right with that, John, a little bit.
What?
So
Hey man,
we gonna
y'all
see
want me to pass some hookahs out? I'm around. I help out.
absolutely. No. You gotta be a
God,
contestant,
we
player.
need you to be part of the panel.
Yep. They keep asking about the
I
plumber.
gave myself to the Lord. I'm
They,
You
done.
know,
they keep asking about the plumber, and they keep
I'm
asking
yes,
done.
about you know what
that
I mean. They
plumber.
keep asking about Jax. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And the plumber. You know what I
they trying
mean?
to get their pipes clean.
They trying to get
Here
the
she
pipes
go.
clean, player.
Here she go. You are toxic.
Don't come in there. Don't come in there with no invoices either, nigga.
The
I mean,
drain. They like the drain, the drain.
I'm handing out hookahs. I got y'all.
Listen, it's 2023. It's time to get it together and find that one.
Mm-mm.
it ain't gotta be no marriage type thing, but
It
just
don't gotta be marriage, but you
building
gotta work
we
on
building
it.
relationships. You heard? Like, we want to see how
Playtime is over. You're
sex is.
over 40 now, brother. It's like,
Sister, I'm in a
Hey,
good
hey,
space.
Jen.
I'm in a
Hey,
good
Jen.
space.
Hey, Jen. Tell us. T- tell us, cause Jen, you currently single now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, let me ask you a question. What's a couple attributes that you're looking for? You know what I mean? And the just in a male, you know what I mean, mate or whatever the case may be.
Tell them patience, Jen.
I got my eyes closed right now. Scott, shut up.
No,
I got my
listen.
eyes
Don't tell us what we
closed.
want to hear. Like, tell us like I would say, tell us three attributes that's like important to you. You know what I mean? when you're looking for, just knowing what you know now, when you're looking for, you know what I'm saying? Just you know what I mean, a companion, you know what I mean, somebody to chop it up with, vibe with, or whatever the case may be. Fuck all the titles, you know what I mean? What's three things that are important to you? You know what I mean? Don't say what sound good and shit. You know what I mean? Like, get three, whatever that
I
might
don't
be.
know. Sound good. I'm so serious right now. It's an insightful person, somebody that's emotionally, mentally aware. You know, like I don't know about well, yeah, I guess patience. I don't know. I don't
So
know.
I'll be hearing that emotional piece a lot of times. So is that like an issue with like with any of your other girlfriends that's single that men
No.
aren't like emotionally available or something?
Well, it's a lot of. I think oh my God, that's like a whole nother can of worms. But I think that that's an issue because so many men have been taught not to wear their emotions if they don't know how to be emotionally available.
Mm.
You know, and like you seen that video I posted where the girl was like, you know, guys get the shit end of the stick. You expect them to understand how you feel, but then you don't want them to be emotional. It's like you want so much from a person that wasn't really taught how to verbalize, communicate, or express how they feel.
Mm.
So to be with somebody that's in touch with that, I think that men are taught not to be in their emotions because that's actually the strongest part of them. That's just what I personally believe. If a man can tap into his emotions, he'll have that same superpower that you be talking about all the time, Jamal.
Mm.
And I think that that's why they're threatened by black men. That's just how I
Mm.
feel about it. Like since the beginning of time, they've been doing a lot to make sure that black men feel crushed, not
Mm.
desired, and
Mm.
that's just not the truth.
Mm.
So, an emotionally tapped in, aware person, you ain't
Hey,
got to be
Sheree,
psychic.
because we talking about this, because I don't know. I really don't know. Do you feel like I'm emotionally like
No.
tapped in? Damn, I ain't even finished saying what I had to
That shit
say.
fast. Damn.
Damn,
Dang,
God damn.
Damn, wife.
Damn. What was
dang,
you saying, Jen?
Sheree.
What you say? Emotionally what?
Unavailable, brother.
Tapped
Yeah.
Oh
in,
yeah, yeah.
aware.
Okay. So Cherie, so let me ask you on some real shit. Stop playing around. Stop playing. on the
I'm
on the
not mad.
emotional, no, no, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know what I mean? On some real shit, stop playing. You know what I mean? On a scale of 1 to 10, how emotionally available do you think I am?
A two.
Get the fuck out of here. You is full of it. Yo,
Jamal, you
this
gotta
You
be
nigga,
asked.
patient today.
You
Jamal, be
see? You
patient.
Wow.
yo, a two.
want to know
Mo, you
why,
can't be the
Cookie?
host
Forget
no
Do
more,
you want
Mo.
me to
You can't
tell
be
you
the
it.
why
host
it's
Yeah,
no
a
you
more.
two?
hear her?
Do you
You
Hold
want me
can't
up.
be
to
the
tell
host no
you?
more.
Huh?
You
Then
can't
you
be the host no more.
That's what I'm saying. Damn.
do you want me to tell you why I said that?
Yeah,
Or you want to
yes.
just
I would I would
go
I would
out
love
of
to know.
all in your emotions and everything else like
A
that?
two
Like
out
you
of
normal.
ten.
I'm not.
Because I don't feel like that you are. Because I feel like
Oh,
you are okay. You
I'm
want me to
listening.
answer or no?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh,
Paige
Jax
and
Jax
Dr.
is coming.
Wiley. Paige and Dr. Wiley.
No. No, the reason why I said that you're not, I mean, at least with me, I don't feel like you are. I feel like
Oh, okay.
you
That's fine.
are you are the type with me anyway. Like so it's let's say like if I say I don't like you, you be like, I don't care, I don't like you neither.
Ah,
But
no,
deep down
stop.
inside, no, let me finish. Deep down inside, you really don't feel that way. But it's like you would say the same thing I'm saying to make yourself feel better, or you'll hit below the belt with something to make yourself feel better because you don't want your feelings to be hurt. So I feel
No,
like
I
you're
feel
like you
that.
don't have no emotions when it come to me.
No,
I
no,
don't. I don't feel
I
like you.
do agree. I will hit below the belt. You know what I mean? As a defense mechanism. I'm being completely honest. You know what I'm saying? But,
Yeah.
but
Instead of being like,
I have done it
instead of just
before.
being like, damn, like you know, what I mean, showing some type of emotion is like, what? Well, you blah blah blah. Like you'll hit below the belt, and it's like, God damn, I ain't even say nothing that will make you even go that far, but you will go that far with me.
Have
On
patience,
Sunday.
Sheree.
I
Yeah,
have
that's
patience.
what
Trust me, he
you gotta
does it
have.
a lot.
You
He's
gotta have
still
patience.
here.
You
You
gotta
gotta
have
have patience.
patience.
You know what I mean?
He's still here. I got patience.
But look, but that is an emotional side. That is a cry for help. You know what I mean?
That's
That is
it.
that's a cry for understanding on some shit. I'm
You
just
know
saying.
what? You hear
Yeah,
me?
Ma. He
You know what
diagnosed
I
himself.
mean?
That's why you gotta
God.
show more patience when he lashes out, Sheree. You already
I
That's
ain't
what I'm
know.
trying to hear
saying.
that. Let me
You
turn my
ain't new to
Mr. F
this.
camera on because he got me all the way chopped.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo! Diva!
Okay.
Wifey.
No. I had plenty of patience. Trust me.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
not. It needs to be to me. It's like no. I don't understand why it's not. You can't show your emotions or your feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. I would never use that against you. Like I feel like it just makes me get a better understanding how you truly feel about me. I don't feel like you love me as much as I love you because you can't even let your guard down enough to show that emotion when I really feel like you should,
I don't think that's
especially
fair.
if I do it. What?
How you gonna say you don't think somebody love you as much as you love them? Why?
right,
It's
Because
not a
like I
love
said,
contest. You know the man
no,
love you.
it's not about
right.
intimacy. That's the listen here,
Good
brother.
point.
Slow down. I ain't say it
Right,
was a
that's a good point.
contest, but at the end of the day, like I
You did
said,
love comparison, Sheree. I know it's your birthday and everything, but you
no,
know we gonna keep it real. We gonna keep it real today. Fuck. You did
no.
love
I'm
comparison.
just saying. No, it's not. I'm not comparing anything, but it's the truth. I'm listening. You want me to lie or you want me to tell you the truth? I'm
Well,
telling the
Sheree,
truth. In
he
this
might not want to give you
situation,
both his kidneys. He probably don't need to say, listen, Sheree, I'm gonna give you one kidney or one lung. You know what I'm saying?
okay. Well, I take the one lung and the one kidney. Don't
All right,
let
but
me
you might
die
not give
though.
him neither one of yours. You might not even give
I
him neither one.
would. I will give him both.
Okay. All right.
So now what?
I
Now
got you.
what?
I understand. Ma,
Okay.
you
So
emotionally
and like
available,
I
Ma.
said,
You
and that's
emotionally
why
available, Ma. I know you are, Ma.
Uh,
You a good man, Jamal. You a good
you
I
man.
know what,
appreciate that.
Hey
I
Scott.
appreciate that.
You a good man.
I
I didn't
appreciate that.
say he wasn't. I just said he don't show
I
his
appreciate
emotions
that.
like I feel like he
And see,
should.
and so this how I'm gonna
I'm
respond to that.
emotionally available. I'm emotionally available. I'm just letting y'all know. I am. Before y'all go
Emotionally
First
somewhere.
live
available. I'm crying.
2023.
Listen, this is the thing. Like, I mean,
See?
I don't know
And he do it on the lives, and y'all know it. When we say
what.
stuff, he get all offensive and get all upset. He be
Yeah,
like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
I'm passionate about what I feel. You know what I
No,
mean? But see,
okay.
with me, like people will try to define who you are with whatever
People.
you do. You know
See,
what I
that's
mean?
one of his defense mechanisms. Here it
Listen,
comes.
people will try to define who you are. I'll never let anybody define who I am. Bottom line. You know what I mean? Because it's never enough for somebody. Like y'all dated people where you go above and beyond, and for them it's never enough. You bend over backwards, it's never enough. That you don't, and I'm not talking about you, Cherie. I'm talking about in general.
No.
This is a broad, this is a blanketed statement in terms of knowing who you are, you know what I mean, and not allowing people to define you. Because at the end of the day, what you know, regardless of what, is that you understand my intent. You understand that I have a heart of gold. So throughout all of the mistakes I make, throughout all of the imperfections, at the end of the day, you know my core is so fucking pure. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why you fuck with me. So I'm not gonna sit up here, you know what I mean, and get labeled or feel any type of way because somebody, you know what I mean, like don't feel I should be a little bit like this on that side, this side. Nigga, my core is a diamond. So that's what I'm rocking with. So, you know what I mean? You got to take the
And
good and the
she can
bad.
depend on you, Jamal.
Yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah, no.
saying?
Sheree, on
Yeah.
tough days, Jamal gonna pick you up. Your mighty steed gonna let you jump on his back. You know what I'm
He
saying?
said Mighty Steve.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Jax, where you at,
Bye.
player?
He said
Hey,
that. Bye.
oh,
Bye.
Jax, come on in and disagree. Or Jax, come in. You got to tell us about, you know what I mean, that last little situation, player. You know what I mean?
Listen
All
here,
right, come on, Jax. I'm gonna tap out.
Scott,
Scotty.
Good night, y'all.
what's
Be
up? You going to
safe.
get a fresh chop for Friday?
Man, you listen, brother. You didn't told me coming at 6 o'clock in the morning, brother. You know you a celebrity. You a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to talk about that on live. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's my time.
I mean, come get that fresh boy, player. Jax, where you at, man? Tell us the story Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
tell us your story, Jax. Talk to us.
Yeah,
Jax, yeah.
yeah,
What's up?
yeah. Nah, what's going on with y'all?
Yeah. What's up, player?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. How everybody doing? Happy birthday. Much nigga
Thanks, Jack.
tell a happy birthday. Nigga tell me I'm bugging, man. Nah,
Appreciate it.
what's
Yo.
going on with y'all though?
Man, everything good. Listen, so we was just having a conversation about patience. We was talking about, you know what I mean, like expectations. We was talking about certain forms of loyalty. We was talking about love versus like, you know what I mean? We even got into emotional availability, you know what I mean? And then we even got a little bit into, you know what I mean, people defining you, so to speak. You know what I mean? So we've been kind of on a little journey, you know what I mean, moving around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when you tap back in, man, just talk to us, tell us how you feel.
Oh yeah, I don't
Got
know.
logged out.
Thank you. Oh, there we go.
Damn.
LBJ. J Book, what up?
Sheree. Oh, that's my brother, Jamal.
Damn, it's
J
doing
Book,
it's doing the cutoffs again. Can y'all see me?
it's
What you
dope.
do, Jackson? Chip,
That's because
yeah.
you got that damn demon energy. Here it comes.
Yo, chill out.
Here it comes.
There we go.
Yo, relax, man. Relax, man. I don't have no demon energy, man. I'm a good guy, man. You feel me?
hmm
But nah. I mean that sounded like y'all was talking about a lot of good shit. I was like I said, I was leaving the gym earlier, so I heard some of it, but I didn't hear all of it.
Hmm.
I tapped in when y'all was talking about like patience and what it is, I guess, and what it isn't, what it looked like, and all of that. And I was just trying to tell y'all my PTSD story of yeah. When I was in a relationship, and I wasn't bullshit. I mean, it sounded hilarious, it sounded funny, but it wasn't funny at all. I was in it for about two years and some change or whatever. And one of our biggest issues was uh, a lack of intimacy, a lack of affection, a lack of dick sucks, a lack of sexual compatibility. I felt like I honestly I got to the point where I felt like she just didn't really like me for real, didn't love me, but because I got a glimpse of what I thought she could be in like the dating stage and like those first like 6 months or whatever, I felt myself kind of chasing that ghost, like the whole relationship going forward. So that's where my patience, like honestly, all jokes aside, like one of the gifts I feel like God gave me was my ability to be patient with people and with situations. I'm very level headed. I'm very I'm not confrontational. I'm a thinker. I like to think things out. I like to be mature. I like to take the high road. But all of those things are very, very, like, being a patient person is very, very tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of the time you do have to take the higher road. You do have to be the bigger person. And to be honest with you, it kind of eats you up inside. Because you always find yourself trying to extend grace to people because you believe that there's something within them that maybe they don't even know that they have. Feel me? But you believe that they have it, so you want to continue to extend that olive branch, continue to give them grace because you just believe that one day, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna like actually realize who they are, what they possess, and you know what I'm saying. You want to be on the receiving end of that, you know. But a lot of the time, it don't really happen that way. You know what I mean? But as far as the dick suck thing, like I said, I was in a relationship for about 2 years. I probably got maybe like 15 or 16 dick sucks, which would average out to about 47 to 48 days per dick suck. So
Wow.
not a really good
Hey,
average at all. And I hope and pray to the Lord that I'll never have to go back to a woman like that.
yo.
Jesus.
First of all, I want to say to you, brother, we have compassion and understanding for your situation. You know what I mean? Listen, let's embrace this, brother. Y'all always talk about
I do, and I don't even have no. I don't even have no dick, and I feel sorry for him.
I don't even have no dick. No, but listen,
I'm
women,
just
listen to
saying.
this. But no,
Yo,
hear
my
me out.
eyes is like.
I know we playing around and everything, but I alluded to it earlier, and Jax is confirming it, and we haven't had any mutual conversation about this topic outside of right now, right? Sucking dick lets a man know that you like him. And that was one of the terms that I used loosely, trying to kind of describe why dick sucks are important. It's not even always about the stimulation. You know, when it's in particular, if you're dating somebody in a relationship, whatever the case may be, it's a form of like. You know what I mean? Because you're kind of going the extra mile, you know what I mean, for your partner at that point. You know what I mean? And Jax used the same term, and I don't even know if you heard when I said the like part. You know what I mean? He was like, damn. The affection is not there. The dick sucks wasn't there. I was starting to feel like this girl just didn't like me, and that's big for emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like emotionally, he was left in despair. You know what I mean? You look for your mate to give you that of love, and it wasn't. Woo! That's crazy. That's crazy.
Jamal forgot what he was talking about. Look,
I forgot all about that shit. Hey, we gonna holler at y'all, baby. Come on,
Jamal.
on, come on.
No.
Let's mess that hair and that
What I
makeup
say,
up.
Sheree?
Let's mess it up.
What I say? Don't you even touch it. Don't touch it.
No, we got a football helmet here. You know what I mean? We gonna make sure everything's intact. I got
Sheree, screw your head off. Put it in the freezer. Go ahead. Come on now.
Yo.
You know what I mean? That's anyway. That's a whole. You done distracted my whole motherfucking thought process. But anyway, women, if you like your man, give him some head. I don't know why y'all, and that's some emotionally unavailable shit. Not giving your man head because you're really you're playing roulette with the I like you, John. If you fuck with him, then fuck with him. You doing the no affection. Like, what's up with these?
What if people don't give head because they don't know how to give head though?
Nah.
It's called trying.
Fuck all that, cause it's not it's not about. It's
y'all
not
be tearing
about,
up a fucking popsicle and then act all timid with a dick. Like, no, we ain't having.
But for me though, right? It's not even. It's
April.
No, not April.
never about what you're of doing. It's about what you're willing to do. Like I say that all the time.
Right.
It's not about what you're capable of doing. It's what you're willing to do. And like a lot of people just don't be willing to do shit. And that's what I was talking about that last week. When y'all was barking on me and shit. When I was talking about how if a woman feel like doing something, it's nothing that you can do, my nigga. It's literally nothing that you could do, unless you're a fucking raper, and I'm not that.
Yeah, I'm about to be going in the house.
But it's nothing to do. You just gotta eat that. And keep it moving.
I mean, honestly, on some real stuff though, like I don't even know what's up with the whole and that's interesting. You know what's sad about it? If we're talking about emotional availability, a lot of women are emotionally confused. Jax, it's the crazy part about it. That girl might have really fucked with you. That's the sad part about it.
No, she didn't. Let's not even confuse or conflate that she didn't. She ain't fuck with me.
Got you. And it was evident. It was
She
evident.
gets no cool points, Maul. You tried.
But no.
He didn't fuck with me, and it's not, and I take, and it's really my fault. It's my fault because I saw some red flags, and I chose to stay. He showed me much like felt about me, and I didn't believe it. Times that she showed me, and I kept putting in effort, and I kept trying. That's on me. Like that's my bad. Like don't try to shoot her in the bell. She don't get no.
Yeah, no. But what I've seen is, you know what I mean, emotionally confused. What do I mean by emotionally confused? What I mean by that is is females, not her. We made that evidently clear. You know what I mean? And she made it clear. It's cool. You know what I mean? Not her. But I've seen women that really care for guys and then can't tap into the affection.
Yeah.
That can't tap into, you know what I mean, a deep, intimate, you know what I mean, this stuff. You know what I mean? A passionate joint. You know what I mean? Like, why can't you tap into your emotional side, your affectionate side as a woman, even when you like guys? You know what I mean? It's some joints that don't even want to kiss. That's fucked up. Like, you emotionally are like confused. You don't even know how to give a passionate, and when I say a passionate joint, I mean this. A passionate French kiss. You know what I mean? The old school joint when you was young. You don't even
from a transplant,
Ooh,
right?
You getting French kiss tonight, girl.
No, she not.
French kiss, yes, she is. I'm sorry. All that craziness. Guess what? I'm gonna be crazy.
Listen, touch everything except for her face. I don't know how Takia feel about her hair. Touch everything except for her face.
I can't promise that.
Listen, Jamal, there will be no kissing tonight. Cherie, you got lip gloss for tomorrow.
You killing it.
Damn.
But I was gonna say though, from a perspective of I'm a transplant, right? I'm a Philadelphia transplant. Like I've been here for almost 15 years, but I'm not from Philly, right? And
you came on the boat.
Yeah, slave game.
Yeah.
And but like honestly, like a big thing that I've noticed, I don't know if it's like just a East Coast thing or if it's specifically a Philadelphia thing, but a lot of the women here that I've experienced have not been very affectionate. They don't really like to kiss. They don't like to be have a certain level of like vulnerability. And I have assumptions on that. Like I'm not gonna say what I say about it is like law, but honestly, like just observing how like a lot of men and women kind of communicate with one another here specifically, I think a lot of women just had really, really, really bad experiences as young teenage, you know what I'm saying, young women. And by the time you get to me, and I'm 38, right? By the time you done got to me, like you don't even really know what it looked like to really be vulnerable with a man, or maybe for that man to have created a safe space for you to feel comfortable being vulnerable, for you to feel comfortable being passionate, for you to feel comfortable being affected, because maybe that's never been your experience dealing with any of the guys that you were attracted to or chose to deal with over the years. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm not trying to replace blame. I'm just like looking at it from a bird's eye view as to like, what I've observed. And over the past couple of months, I've actually tried to like really look at myself to figure out like what it might be about me that I'm continuing to attract women who that's not their thing. Like being affectionate is not their thing. Being soft is not their thing. Having like level of passion is not their thing. Like it may be something about me. You feel me? So like because I don't know, because I've run into that several times, and I honestly don't really know how to I'm not a persuader, I'm not a coercer, I'm not a manipulator. So if somebody doesn't give me that organically, like I don't have the tools to like bring some shit out of you that you're not already showing me. You feel me? So like it makes me think sometimes when I look in the mirror and I'm sitting and I'm just chilling, like thinking about like my relationship life, like it might be something about me that like maybe women they just that with me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Let me add to that. Like honestly, you know what I'm saying, is interesting because you know what I'm saying, like you said, it's a good observation. Like I've heard, you know what I'm saying, from a female, like my man was saying, a female was like, I just never kissed, like, you know what I mean? And she like in her mid-20s, whatever, like, I've never been kissed like that. Like, you know, the fact that you just, like, people was just having sex with you, you know what I mean? Nobody really wanted to, like, because kissing is more like a connection, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's definitely more intimate, you know what I mean? Things like that. And when we talking about, you know, emotional availability, you know, unfortunately, a lot of women aren't emotionally available because it hasn't been presented to them in their sexual and romantic experiences coming up. It hasn't even been any romance.
Right.
So we can even exit that word. That's the sad part about it. So when I hear that, it's like, it's sad. It's kind of messed up that you just literally just been getting fucked. Like you haven't been, it hasn't been a romantic experience at times because, you know, you're not giving it off. That, I guess that has to be learned too. I've had hugs by people, even a hug, you know what I mean? By some people don't even have a warm, affectionate hug. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's deep. So, but what I'm saying is like, the thing about it too, Jax, is like, you know what I mean? It's interesting because when you're in, when you're in Asia, you have to speak Mandarin. It's unfortunate. As much as you want to speak English, you know what I mean? The communication gap is going to be there. Like sometimes you have to speak somebody's language, you know what I mean? And then kind of bring them into your language. So sometimes, like I'm saying that to say, like, you kind of got to run game and shit. I'm sorry, like you have to run game and shit. That's how you're going to get the attention, you know what I mean, and the respect. I'll say that the respect comes with the type of game that you're running at times, and then you can bring somebody into your process and into, you know what I'm saying, your you know, your regiment and all of that. But from the rip, I think the respect comes in with the game, and it's whether we like it or not. That's just, it ain't law, but game goes a long way. Motherfuckers is not respecting a gameless nigga. I don't give a fuck. It's a respect thing.
Like I hear that, but it's hard for me to it's difficult for me to do that because, like, have you ever, or any of y'all, right? Have any of y'all, like, say for instance, your partner or your person or whatever, you've gotten to know them so well that you kind of know that you know who they are and you know who they aren't. And more importantly, you know who they think they are and who they think they aren't. And even if you have, so for example, I've had conversations with women where it's like, yo, like I really need a little bit more affection from you. I need more intimacy from you. I need you to kind of be a little bit more like,
I'm so old.
Be more of a girl with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to put it like simply. And I've had them hear what I'm saying, comprehend what I'm saying, try to incorporate what I'm saying, but when they do it, you know that it ain't real.
Yeah.
And like, and it's like, I can feel that it's not real, and they know that it's not real because in their mind they know that this ain't even me for real.
Yeah.
Like, saying, like, I don't know how to. I don't even know if I would feel comfortable being in a situation where, like, I'm basically asking somebody to be something that they're not.
And yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, you know, and here's the interesting part about the world, right? The globe, it offers different specialties in different areas of the globe. So in some areas of the globe, it offers oranges, you know what I mean, that are rich in citrus and vitamin C. You know what I mean? Some parts of the globe, it offers mint, you know what I mean, which is good for healing and things of that nature. Sometimes you got to travel to get the type of energy that you want, even from a woman, because culturally things are different based on what part of the earth you're on. But if you're looking for that from some of the shit that we are in the trenches, so if you're looking for that softness, like, we are in a battle zone. So to a certain degree, it's I mean, you have to be equipped to go out in these streets every day as a man and as a woman. So yeah, like you said, for some of our women that we're looking for some of this softness with, it's not in them. And we talking about generationally. Like your
Yeah.
mom's mom wasn't soft. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's interesting. So that's where, you know, in your position being single, this is a beautiful part in your life where like I would be on tour. I would literally be, you know what I mean, searching the globe for that type of culture, that type of energy that gives me life. You know what I'm saying? That on some real shit. But if you're looking for it, you're not gonna find, you know what I'm saying, you know, oranges in Alaska. It's just not there. You know what I mean? You can even
I
plant
feel
that
like
shit.
there's a lot of women out here that are emotional, though. I feel like there's a lot of men out here that are emotional too. I just feel like we're not crossing paths. You remember that time when I told you I was going to Maryland with one of my girlfriends, and she was like, "Well, where's all the guys this and all the guys that?" I said they probably are in a car having this exact same conversation, driving the opposite direction that we are, because somehow something in us is always attracted to the opposite. You know, like the unhealthy opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the one that poses to want the same thing that you want. And then when you start to get to know them intimately, intimacy uncovers a lot about you. Like once you fuck somebody, condom or no condom, so please, you start to really see them. And even if you don't at first, they're scared that you will see them. So then that whole breakdown starts, and then nobody's willing to sit and stay and figure it out. And then you go on that same hunt again. It's like it just keep repeating itself because ain't nobody really willing to sit down.
Yeah.
If you tell a woman, "I just need you to be a girl," like you're gonna get offended because she already is a girl. So you know, like maybe I think maybe our language we need to develop a little bit more. All of us, as much as we think we know, we probably need to learn a whole shit ton more. And learning how to talk to each other and actually learning how to hear each other is probably a bigger key too.
That's
I
a good
think.
point. They're hearing, they're listening for
One
understanding.
thing, one of the things one of the first things you said, you was like, you think it's a lot of emotional women and a lot of emotional men out here that just crossing paths. But I think being emotional is not the same thing as like being like soft, right? Like to me, it don't mean the same thing. Like to me, being emotional is just having emotions and you wear them out. You feel me? But like
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like you could still be a hard ass woman who's just an emotional hard ass woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Versus being a woman who has some softness about her, who still is emotional, but she shows her emotions in a different way, in a womanly way, in a ladylike way, in a just in a softer way. You feel me? And like, and I'm not trying to offend anybody because like I know a lot of people sometimes get offended when you say when like I think sometimes women can take it as like you're diminishing their level of femininity if they're not as soft as a man would like for them to be, right? Like that's not what I'm trying to do, but I do think there's a very clear distinguishment or like differentiation of like a woman and a woman who's not so soft, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they're both women, they're both ladies, they're both, you know what I mean? But it's just like,
Yeah.
and you said another thing where you're talking about sometimes you have to have a moment where you're intimate with somebody, but like take their force field down. I understand that to a certain extent, but I think someone who is truly like who has that true like I guess feminine energy or that warmth about them or that softness about them, like it's not gonna they don't really have for like you know what I mean? It's like because
Can I,
in my opinion, the superpower that women have is being so soft that they can make space soft. They can make the space. They can make the space safe by just knowing how to wield their expertise of seduction without it being sexual. Like you feel me? Like if that makes like you could as a woman, you can change the inflection or the pitch of your voice
mm-hmm.
where it immediately makes somebody feel comfortable talking to you. As a woman, you can touch a person on the shoulder, touch a person on the knee, where immediately they feel safe around you. Like that
Mm-hmm.
have that men don't have that. You
Men
feel?
do have that.
And I feel like a lot of women lack that ability now. And that doesn't make them any less of a woman. I'm just saying it makes them it just has them, they don't have that tool in their fucking toolbox. And that is,
Or the tools are broken.
what that mean? Like, what you
All
mean?
right, so I had another conversation. I don't even know if my brother's on here still, but I had this conversation with him and somebody else. I think sexual trauma feeds that brokenness. It's easier for women to get to the point of talking about their experiences. It's hard for men to do that. And it affects, that was a big jump. I know that was like a big deep jump, but it affects who and how you are as a growing sexual being. Your experiences, how you communicate, body language is y'all know what I'm trying to say. What the hell? It speaks louder than words, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody had, like y'all talked about head, some people
Wait,
could have
what?
had bad experiences being taken advantage of. I know I had experiences myself. So it's a different type of approach because when something is taken away from you unwillingly, you're looking for a safety net all the time. And that affects every single part of how you do anything. Anything. We already out here on survival mode because we black. So then with inside of just that, it's so many other things that happen and they all happen and stack up so fast. And it produces the type of adult you are. Okay, well, I like you, but I can't get that close. Oh, well, I don't want you to think I'm this. Like it's so many different things. It's like I said earlier, it's never like a all of a sudden thing. All of a sudden you become impatient. When we first started talking about this, you arrive to these things based on your experience. And even a really close friend of mine said something about his girlfriend not being emotional. To me, she comes off as the most emotional person. I would have never expected him to say that, but I don't know their intimacy.
Right.
So then when he told me about it without telling me too much, I understood where he was coming from, but I was also really surprised. But I understood how that could happen. So I was trying to give him like ways to ask her questions where she wouldn't feel offended, because I was trying to put myself in her shoes so he can know how to approach her. Like, this shit, it's wild out here.
I have a rebuttal for that, because it's like, how I think that everything that you said is valid. People's trauma is valid. People's experiences are valid. I think sometimes though, when people understand that their traumas are valid, they turn that validity into a crutch.
A weapon. Yeah.
And they turn
Yeah.
the validity of their trauma into a crutch that they can lean on, that they can be like, yo, the reason I'm like this is because of this. But then they sit on their fucking hands and don't do shit to try to fix the way that they are.
Right.
So
We talked about that.
yeah, so like as a man on the other side of trying to love a woman like that, what the fuck am I supposed to do when a woman knows what her traumas are, knows what her mental health status is, knows what her mental illnesses are, knows where she be fucking up at, and don't do shit past that? That's just what it is. That's just who I am, and that's it, my nigga. Like,
James, you gotta love her or leave her alone.
but that's what I'm. But see, and I understand that, and I agree with you. But when you really love somebody, though, you want to love them through it. But we not gonna get through shit if you don't do shit about it. Mm-hmm. Like, you gotta, like, you have to want to be a different person than the person who just leans on your fucking negative experiences. What
Right.
you gonna do about that? And I think that's where a lot of people just get in that pocket and they stay in that pocket, and then they be like, "Yo, this is just who I am, my nigga. Like this is who I am. Like
And that's
take."
what I was saying.
You about to get so mad at me. You about to get so mad at me. What's her name? What's the comedian that be on here? What's her name? Remember a couple of weeks ago when she said when the guy have a problem, she said, "So what you gonna do about it?"
Oh, April.
Yeah, right.
This is literally your version of that. This is what I'm saying.
No,
Wow, that's crazy.
that,
But but
I'm gonna tell you why
but
it's not, because it's the
but
timing of it. He's not talking about in the moment of a crisis. He's talking about what you're gonna do about it. He's saying, all right, we understand, where your trauma comes from and all these other good things. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? You know what I mean? We gotta move forward. We're not talking about in the
but
midst of a
that
trauma. We
that
talking
is a
about
form of crisis.
what we talking about over time. See, the interesting part is, and that's some good points that have been brought up. You know what I mean? By Jax and by you, Jen. The interesting part is
You
what
probably
do
me
we
on the
do?
screen.
What do we do in that
Oh.
situation? Because I've been there in a situation where somebody had some trauma. We all got something going on, but my whole thing was I was in it with you. You know what I mean? To ride with you through this trauma, until we saw some sunlight, until we turned some things around, until we saw some change. But then once I realized that you were ultimately like, hey, this is just who I am, that's when I had to make my move, because you know what I mean? I'm not like, this ain't enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Where you are, like, your comfortability in being who you are isn't, isn't enough for where I'm trying to be with who I want to be with. And I had to make a decision. Either accept that person for who they was, you know what I mean? Or accept who they are, but then, accept that I still have needs, and I still have, personal relationship goals and life goals also, and understand that this person is not going to allow me to meet those things. And and move on. But so that
Well, are we asking like the right questions? You know how sometimes you spend so much time with somebody, you're really willing to stay. Like I'll use you for example, Jess. You're willing to stay, you're willing to listen, you're willing to talk, but the other person can't or don't know how to verbalize. So then
Won't,
maybe
won't,
you
won't,
know how you
won't,
might be scared to be without them.
won't,
Listen, listen,
that's the biggest thing.
listen to me.
Can't
won't.
or won't. It's two different.
Can't and won't is two different things, because if
I
it's
know.
won't, then you already know what to do.
No, but you
If
said they can't, and that's the bullshit that I can't, that's unacceptable.
no, that's not bullshit and that's not unacceptable, because when men can't verbalize how they feel and they snap, we supposed to sit there and listen.
No, you the
We
fuck
supposed to
you
just
not.
Well, wait, but we do, because when you're in something with somebody, you're there because you want to be, whether they get on your nerves or whether they don't. Like you're there because you want to be. So you are exercising a certain level of patience, willingness, understanding, all that stuff, and you're tolerating a lot just by seeing them go through their ups and downs. You're standing there with them, you're present with them. So but you don't want to become a crutch. So that's the difference between can't and won't. Some people don't know how to express themselves. Sometimes people have to meet or come in contact with that person that'll wake that part of them up. And they may not even finish out with that person, but that person will activate something in them. And then they'll be able to verbalize how they feel, and then they'll come into a willing space. If you already dealing with somebody that already knows that they're a dickhead and they just keep choosing to be a dickhead because they like leaning into that, and they've gotten so used to their life as one, it's easier to just be one than to change and be what you need. Then it's now your choice to move on. It's
Well,
now your choice to decide how much you're gonna waste your time.
let me present you with a scenario, right? Because I'm stuck. I get stuck on things. Again, I'm stuck on here. That's how my brain works. I'm dumb, right? Some things I can't get past. So if me and you were dating and articulating the English language is my thing, but it's not your thing, but you're still, however old you are, and you're a functioning adult, you don't have a speech impediment, you have thoughts, you're not slow, you're not none of that, you're not mentally challenged, none of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We sit down. I ask you a question as to how you're feeling about a certain situation or a certain issue that we had or issue that I had with you, and I'm asking you like, what was the deal with that? What were you thinking? What was your thought process? What made you do the things that you did? And you telling me that you cannot articulate the words and tell me, and it ain't nothing wrong with your brain. You telling me you can't, or you telling me that you don't want to? You telling me that you cannot, incapable,
Jackson
lack
is mad. He's mad.
lack the mental capacity to put together a fucking sentence. You
Mm-hmm.
telling me that you can't, or you telling me that you won't?
Yeah, it can be both. It can be can't.
How? You
But that's
dumb. Then
I
you're
just know
dumb.
that's not a
Then
part of being dumb. That's
they
not
bird brain.
Jackson. It's a lot of people out here. It's men in they 60s. There's women in their 70s. They are
They
so
dumb.
immature. Listen to me. Listen, because because everybody is trying to still figure themselves out. Just because you're of age does not mean you are of mind. It doesn't mean you know everything about yourself just because you've been here 10 years longer than somebody else. There are 20-year-olds that's more mature and more verbally expressive and more aware than some people that's 50. Like you can't gauge it on just that. and
Y'all,
and again, that's experience. That's a whole bunch of, that's just upbringing. It's a whole bunch of different things that contribute to that for each person. So yes, it is very possible for a person to be, it doesn't make it right for them to continue in the behavior. Let me make sure that I say that. When you bring it to their attention, that's you bringing it to their awareness and letting them know that you're affected by whatever it is that they're doing. If they choose to stay where they are, you can get mad, but what I say all the time, you don't have to stay there. So then if they're not willing to change based on how you're affected, then you leave. And you got all of the legitimate reasons why. Like, yeah, people can be a certain age and not know what the fuck is going on with them, because there's a whole bunch of people out there like that now. A
so
whole
so
bunch.
so wait. So how can so okay? So
I
yeah,
can't wait to go to his wedding.
Hold up, Jax. Real quick,
I'm
I can't wait to go to his
dying.
wedding.
Jax.
I'm gonna die on this hill tonight.
Hold
I
on, hold
am.
on. Jax, real quick. I want you to hear this. A couple comments, real quick. For one comment is, I cannot tell you what my issues were 3 years ago because I had no clue. Now I can articulate it because I've been through therapy and I'm aware of the issues now. Somebody else says sometimes expressing yourself is hard due to trauma, so you train your mind not to communicate.
So how did y'all put them sentences together?
She just said, she said
No,
she
no, no,
went to therapy.
no. Let me cook for 1 second, right? Because if you're telling me that you can't articulate a sentence, then to me that means that you shouldn't have been saying anything for the whole time that we've been dating. You shouldn't have been telling me no problems. You shouldn't have been telling me what you like. You shouldn't have been telling me what you do like. You shouldn't have been telling me what you want for your birthday. You shouldn't have been telling me where you want to go eat. You shouldn't have been telling me what you want to get your parents for their birthday. You shouldn't have been telling me how the people at your job is bothering you, because you shouldn't be able to articulate no fucking statements on how you feel
That's not
about
the
nothing.
truth. That's
You
not the truth.
shouldn't.
I'm
So
gonna tell you why.
if
Hold
you
on. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
let me
because because Jackson is at 1,000 degrees.
let me
He's
finish
at a
though.
thousand degrees right now.
Allow me to finish though, because if the only thing you can articulate is when we got an issue, come on, nigga. Come on. What are we talking about? You not dumb. You just
No, you're
are
not
not feeling.
dumb.
You not
Intelligent.
dumb.
Dumb has very little to do with being able to articulate how you feel. I'm telling you. All right, let me say it like this. So my household was not the best, right? it was hard for me to I hated getting gifts from people. I hated it because the to make up for the abuse that was taking place, gifts were purchased. So I had a very traumatic attachment to gifts. I didn't like them. It was hard for me to accept when people wanted to do nice things for me because to me, in my mind, something bad was following that. It didn't like that's the way sometimes some traumas can attack your mind and it can bring you to a stopping point. I had to go through my own series of therapy. And when I didn't even go for that, I went for something else and it opened that up and allowed me to see that that was an effect of
Wow.
everything else that was going on around me. Why I wouldn't let people in. How being a strong one has made me a brick wall. How as soft as I was, what happened to all of that? How did I become like this? Over time and didn't even see it taking place. You can be a person that can know what to do because it's all mechanical. Holidays are on a calendar. We get told what to do many points throughout the year. This is the day to do this and this is the day to do that. So yeah, somebody can learn and within a relationship, oh, I know what to do on a birthday. Oh, I know what to do on Christmas. Oh, I know what to do here and there, and don't know how to talk about themselves intimately because nobody ever took the time.
Bro.
Nobody ever took the time. Their parents is just as
Every
fucked up as they are. And if their parents can't teach them how to be emotionally expressive, how to open up or say what's wrong, then they're not going to learn it until somebody brings it to their attention. Somebody outside of the family that loves them and cares for them enough to let them know that something is wrong.
bro,
Yeah,
y'all, but
it happens all the time.
I swear, I'm not arguing any of your points. I'm arguing the fact, like
He was on the panel.
you telling me that like everything that you just explained, all I'm asking people to do is just even if you don't know how to put a sentence together, you could say that. You could be like, yo, I'm feeling such and such way, but I can't find the words to really explain how I'm like that's something. That's
Yeah,
something. You
but
can't
okay, so
like
I did this with my kids, right? And it does get hard for for people to say how they feel. They don't want to feel smaller than they already feel, and they don't want to be the ones saying something out of their own mouth to make them feel smaller than they already feel, right? When my son was upset about something, I told him to write it down because he didn't know how to say the words out loud. Like you deal with that choking thing. Like I know I'm not the only person that dealt with that. I dealt with that shit
and
all
I
the time as a kid.
and that's understandable. I
But
understand.
but those things can grow with you as an adult, is what I'm saying to you.
Write
That it's
them
like
down.
choke hazard.
Write them down when you write them down as a 36-year-old. I don't give a fuck. Say something. Write them down. Text me. We don't even gotta do this shit face to face. Be fucking creative if you really give a fuck. Is all I'm saying. Because if
I
you,
need a Jackson is mad sign. I need
I'm
a
not,
Jackson is
I'm
mad sign.
He's upset.
I do.
not angry. I'm just. This is like really how I feel because I don't be understanding when people who've been talking their whole fucking life now you a fucking mute. When it's a fucking
Yes.
now you're a fucking mute. You've been talking shit
Yes.
this whole fucking the whole time I know you. You talking shit to me. Now you don't know what to say. Now you can't find
People
the words.
But
You not
but
fucking
Jeff,
dumb.
Listen to
people
her
only
name,
do what they
Jess.
know.
You not dumb, yo. You're like really
No, they're
not dumb.
not.
but you know what's interesting though? So like it is, and I'm realizing. I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm realizing, but the interesting part is, you know what I mean? I think that to be able to articulate emotions, that's somewhat of a skill, you know what I mean, that's learned over time too. You know what I mean? Outside of something is hot, you know what I mean, I'm burning or whatever the case may be. But actual emotions, you know what I mean? Because emotions can come off in different ways, just like envy. You like how does that look emotionally? Somebody can envy you, but they're not like this. You know what I mean? They could be like this, and they envy the hell out you. You know what I'm saying? They can have a smile. You know what I mean? So articulating emotions, you know what I mean, can be somewhat of an art that happens over time that is not honed in on in households. There's a lot of emotionless households, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about just in our culturally, in our communities. You know, there's a lot of shit going on when, you know, you trying to hold down the household, you know what I mean? You stressing about this, you stressing about that. You don't always get those intimate moments to teach your children how to connect with their emotions. So, you know what I mean? And this is not to make no excuses, but I think sometimes we are engaging in relationships, you know what I mean, which involve an ultimate understanding of emotions, and we don't even have our own emotions, you know what I'm saying, under wraps and understood. Like when my mom passed away, I was in a depression for probably about, you know what I mean, a year and a half, probably a good 2 years. And and even now, I'm trying to describe it. I have to kind of like give you a visualization of it. I still can't articulate it per se. So my description of the depression was, it was like I was in a tunnel and I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was just like darkness. And usually when you're in a tunnel, you can get claustrophobic because you're like, damn, I'm in this fucking tunnel. How long is this joint? How long are we going to be driving in there? And so sometimes it can be an anxiety and a claustrophobia being in a tunnel. But when you see that light, it's like, it's more of a relaxed feeling because you know, hey, that's the exit to this thing. So it can be hard for people to articulate, you know what I mean, certain emotions. But that's the thing. I think that the real question is, at what point, is two things. You know what I mean? Are we expecting for a motherfucker to be perfect or complete when we meet them? A, do we have any culpability of helping to raise a motherfucker, you know what I mean, or helping to educate a person in certain areas that we may be stronger in? Do we have any responsibility to that? Does everybody have to already come already, you know what I mean, just ready to go? Or do we have an understanding that maybe we are going to encounter people that we're going to have to work on and work with, you know what I mean, to help them, and they're going to help us in certain areas that they're strong in. So that's A. The second part is, at what point do we have enough with trying to teach a motherfucker something? Because I've been there too. I was all in. Captain Save-A-Hoe boy. I had my cape on. I was like, yo, this motherfucker got potential. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if I bring them with me, with my family, we can love them together, woo woo, this and the third. But at the end of the day, this joint was never going to be different than who she was. And I had to realize that at some point. I was willing. I was ready. I was open to, hey, as a family, let's embrace the situation. Woo woo. You know what I mean? It's gonna take time, y'all. It's gonna take patience. My family, like, nigga, how much longer? You know what I mean? And I'm in it to win it. This is how y'all raised me. Don't get mad at me because I'm the man that y'all raised me to be. I mean, I'm doing a stand-up thing. But at the end of the day, I had to realize, like, some people gonna be who they gonna be, and either you gonna live with that shit or you gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna get, you know what I mean, some shit that is going, you know what I mean, fucking accent your blessings and shit like that. You can't keep on trying to work on a motherfucker that's content with where they are and who they are. So I see what you saying, Jax. You know what I mean? And I see what you saying too. You know what I mean, Jen? Some motherfuckers don't got it. But my whole thing is, like you were saying earlier, like, you know what I mean, what you're willing to do. Are you willing to try to understand that connection? Are you willing? If a motherfucker's not willing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not with it. That's
wait, because the way that you did exactly what I would be asking for somebody to do. You articulated the fact that you couldn't articulate the words to describe your emotions.
Right.
Hey, I'm good. I understand. I hear you. I comprehend. Hey, come back to let's work on that. Let's work on that. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Let's talk about it next week. Maybe then you have found the words, but at least know what you're going through. I'll insert myself in this example. There are certain things communication wise I'm not the best at. I'm a great conversationalist in my own opinion. Sometimes I'm not the best at approaching people. Sometimes I'm not the best conversation starter when the conversation is, and I know it's going to be a tough one. Now, does that make me incapable of starting tough conversations? No. Does that make me incapable of approaching people and starting the conversations? No. What it would make me? It make me fucking pussy. It make me fucking scared. It make me be in my own head. And then if I decide to come up with an excuse to justify why I'm not doing it, then that's all it just makes me make an excuse as to why I can't do this. Because I can. I don't want to, or I don't really give a fuck that much to try, or I just don't give a fuck at all. That's all I'm saying. If you give a fuck about something enough nothing is gonna stop you. That's all I'm saying. If you
There's a lot of good comments in here.
in my opinion, my humble opinion, not enough people have that mentality. A lot of people have the mentality of, well, if it's too hard, I just can't do it. If it's too difficult, if it's gonna ruffle some feathers, then I just can't. Yeah, you can. You won't. That's all I'm saying. Because if you really gave a fuck about wanting to get better on how to explain your emotions, I bet you'd make an effort to do so. The people who just sit on their hands and be like, you know what, that's not my bag, that's not my thing, I'm not good at that, I don't do that, and then they just sit down and just live life like that, they don't give a fuck enough. You just don't. And people really just be too pussy to say that, hey bro, I don't give a fuck like that. I don't really care how you care. Sorry. I don't really give a fuck like how you give a fuck. People not gonna say that. Because if you gave a fuck, bro, you'll jump off that cliff for that person that you say that you love.
Yeah, but
you don't give a fuck for real. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? This is an interesting part too. No, but this is an interesting part too. Okay, now that I'm articulating my feelings, now what? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, that sounds good. You know what I mean? For somebody to divulge their emotional, you know what I mean, position. But the other thing is too, I've been there. That shit don't mean nothing. You vulnerabilize yourself to a motherfucker that don't have the tools to support you anyway. So no, I don't give a fuck about expressing my emotional side to you, because what tools do you have to support that? And that's what have you shown in any way that you can support somebody emotionally? Have you shown worthy of me expressing my emotional side to you? You can't even fucking handle me not being able to articulate it. Who knows how you gonna fucking act when I actually articulate my motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people want, even women. I want him to be emotionally available. You're not ready to handle this shit, and I'm gonna give you I might give you a shot, but I already know you can't handle it. So no, we're not getting into all of that. No, we're not. You know what I mean?
So wait. So now we talking. Now we potting, right? We potting now. We hear that.
Let's
so
get it.
to me, right? That's a very important intersection, because to me, and this is all mindset, in my opinion. To me, that's growth, because now you've created a choice for all parties involved. Because like now you've tried to articulate it. Now the ball is in my court. Now if I show you that I can't handle the fact that you articulated some shit, boom. Now we at a fucking intersection of like, all right, well, what we gonna do? Because I actually jumped off the cliff, tried to articulate, this person can't handle this shit. So now it's a decision to be made. Do we even do this? To me, like, a lot of people will look at that as like, damn, I fucked the relationship up. No, you didn't. You grew instantly. Instantly, you grew, because now you know what you can and cannot do with this person. But instead, if you never cross that threshold, now you just wasting time.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying is real, because what you also, you know what I mean, it's also a thing of trust. Like, you know, do you trust me enough to open up to me like that? And that takes a lot, man, because you know what I mean, it's a humiliating, demoralizing feeling when you give your heart, expose your heart, your feelings to somebody, and it doesn't get received well. Like, don't nobody want to keep fucking going through that, a relationship. Nobody doing that, John. Like, you gotta, and here's the thing, you know what I mean? Here's the thing.
Thanks, shit.
Like, here's the thing, my nigga. You ready for this?
I'm listening.
If a motherfucker is not willing to divulge that, then it's something you ain't do. They can hear me out. Because if I have relaxed your motherfucker, if I've relaxed your soul enough to that point, you cannot not give it up. You cannot not give it up. It put you in a position of comfortability. The next step is opening up to me. So you haven't put foreplay on the emotional pussy. You expecting to be wet, this, that, and the third, and
Yeah.
you ain't rub it. You ain't lick it, nigga.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's the truth.
I mean, it's dry, nigga, yeah. Because you
Yeah.
haven't warmed that motherfucker up. And so sometimes, in all reality, it could be something that you did not do to allow that person to feel comfortable enough to even open up. You know what I mean? So we gotta look at it. We gotta look at it multidimensionally. You know what I mean? Don't nobody owe you to just be giving you my emotional status check-in. No. You know what I mean?
Sabrina gonna come on, so I can't listen to those.
So, another dynamic. We talking.
Our,
Let's get it.
our voices is too manly, yo. They not fucking with us. They not
Ain't
fucking
nobody worried about none of y'all talking about.
they not
Hey,
with the man shit.
let's
Making a sign for him right now. Hold on. Get out of here.
We need to reel it in,
all
Jamal.
right, straight. You know what I mean? Wrap us up. Let's get our closing statements. You know what I mean? You know, how we gonna do it? Jack, let's start with you. Then I'll go, and we're gonna let the ladies finish up.
Again, man, it's to me, it's all mindset, it's mentality. I grew up in a household where can't wasn't even in the dictionary, man. So it's not whether you can or can't, it's whether you will or you won't. So do that.
Here.
And if you're a woman in a relationship, or if you're a man, like give head more often than just once every 48 days.
Agreed. Agreed. Listen, closing statement. Patience. You know,
I know you better call me.
topic for the day. We got into so many things, man. Like versus love. You know, what I mean? We got into that, and you know, at the end of the day, I think that the accountability, John, and just, you know, trying to be the best version of ourselves to attract the best, you know what I mean, fucking partner we can attract is kind of, you know what I mean, it's kind of important too. You know what I mean? The better you are, you know what I mean, the higher you vibrate, I really truly feel like, you know what I'm saying, we can attract better. So that's my twist. And then when you attract better, you definitely gonna have more patience with that person. You know what I mean? So the expectation is not necessarily have a person that's 100% complete, but to have a person that you're willing to help to support and completing themselves. You know what I mean? And y'all coming together and being better. So, you know, that's how I look at it. Jen, closing statements. What you got to say?
Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam.
All the scam.
All the shit's a scam. I need a scam sign. Man, I don't know. Closing statement. Patience is a virtue. It's a virtuous thing. Isn't it? When you ask for it, that's when all the shit hit the fan, and make sure you learn how to keep it. It's so annoying. I don't know. I don't know. What else are we talking about besides patience? What, willingness again? Understanding again? Emotional awareness again? All of them tied. They all cousins.
Mm-hmm.
They all cousins. Get the family together. You'll be all right. You will be okay in these streets. Lord.
She look like she out of patience.
Oh yeah, she
No, I'm just, my mind is going, it's so much stuff on my mind.
is a lot.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. It all boils down to safety, all of it. That's how you open up. That's how you open up. Safety, if you feel safe. That's what I was going to say.
Okay. All right, Sheree. You know what I mean? You glammed up. You know what I mean? Looking at 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes, I'm officially 40, y'all.
Yeah, 40 and fabulous.
Yes. So, you know, I appreciate y'all coming on here today. I don't really have no closing statement. I'm tired. Shit.
Love connection.
I got another closing statement. Don't touch her.
Patience is a virtue, though. Seriously, that listen, we gotta have patience, y'all, for real, seriously. To get through anything in life, you're patient, you need them. Seriously, we really, we got to do better. We got to do better. But it's my birthday, y'all, and I appreciate y'all coming on tonight. If y'all missed this episode, you can click the link in my bio and like, comment, and subscribe. The Davidsons and Friends podcast on YouTube, and we're on Apple Podcasts as well. So you can download us and listen to us audio style if you missed this episode tonight.
Let's get it. Listen, we having the Love Connection coming up in our next in person. Y'all be ready for that.
And Jason is gonna be on the
Jack's gonna be in there.
on the
Jack's gonna
panel.
be in there. Jen gonna be in there.
If they didn't,
Excuse me, I'm judging.
if they any of
I'm
these,
judging.
ain't nobody picking me, dog. Nobody.
Somebody gonna pick you, Jackson.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna pick you because they're gonna want to argue with you. You and all your extravagant ass points. Somebody doing it.
Oh shit!
All right, gang.
All right, y'all.
All right, man.
Bye. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Patience. Happy birthday.
Jamal, don't touch Cherie. Good night.